Chuck Harmon along with Tim Burke here for the 2007 Baltimore County, Baltimore City All-Star game right here at Polly Lumsden Scott Stadium. And Tim, it seems like we always have either a very cold or a very wet night. Tonight's a very wet night.
Tonight is a very wet night, and I'm just curious to see how this is going to affect the gameplay and the strategy of both teams at this point.
Well, you know, Tim, being an ex-quarterback, you have to love nights like this where it's really wet and you can't grip the football.
Oh, yeah, you know, this definitely is going to play a part of the game plan for both teams. You know, now you got to kind of think about, if you were thinking about running the ball, now you got to think about, well, running the ball, but if you're thinking about passing the ball, well, you maybe think about running the ball at this point.
Tim, when you look at this beautiful facility here that the Baltimore Ravens, they, about 2 years ago, helped to contribute to this. They put in real nice locker rooms. You have your Ray Lewis locker room, and you have your Jonathan Ogden locker room. Beautiful track here at historic Polly Lumsden Scott Stadium. It's really changed since you played here.
I tell you, some 15 years ago, Chuck, the grass was torn up. This is incredible. This is a great facility for this game, and, you know, we're lucky to be here.
Well, stay tuned for the 2007 Baltimore County, Baltimore City All-Star Game right here at Lumsden Scott Stadium on the campus of Polly High School, courtesy of HSEN and All In Broadcasting. Well, we're getting ready to start the 2007 Baltimore County, Baltimore City Classic here at Polly High School, here on All In Broadcasting. Chuck Harmon along with Tim Burke. Nate Lewis is our engineer for this evening. And it looks like the city squad is going to kick off, and that's going to be number 12, Kashif Williams of Forest Park High School, Tim. And as we mentioned a couple of minutes ago in the setup, Tim, it's a nasty night here in Baltimore.
Yeah, it definitely makes it be more of an interesting game at this point, Chucky. They prepare all week long, and not expecting these type of weather conditions.
Definitely not, and it's going to really play havoc, not only in the passing game, Tim, but the kicking game. It's awful difficult to kick a ball when it's wet and on a slippery surface like it is here at Polly High School. Williams is going to get ready to kick it off now for the city team, and it goes down to about the 11-yard line. And there goes number 10, Donique Taylor. He's run out of bounds at about the 30 or 31-yard line by number 63, Oshante Blake. And Tim, with these All-Star games, you have a week, maybe a week and a half of practice. We both played these games, but I played in this game 25 years ago. You're a little bit more new. What do they do? What do they learn? What can they learn in a week?
Well, you got a week to learn an offense, a week to learn a new defense. As a quarterback that came in with the Delaware Wing T, having to switch over to the pro set offense, it's hard. It's challenging.
Corey Fuller's a quarterback for Woodlawn. You got a pro set I backfield. Here's the handoff to Williams. Cuts across the 50, down about the 48-yard line. He's tripped up there by number 35, Aaron Cottrell out of Walbrook High School, which is going to set up about a 2nd and 6 right on the 49-yard line of the city. And right now we're going to introduce you now to the offensive squad of the county.
Running back, Randallstown High School.
Corey Fuller, quarterback, Woodlawn High School. Joseph Harrison, center, Woodlawn High School.
James Bittner, offensive lineman, Tapsco High School.
Kirsten Chase, left guard, Western Tech. Rob Sauer, Campbell High School, offensive line.
Dominic Champs, running back, Chesapeake High School.
Sean Plum, running back, Western Tech.
Gary Ficklin, wide receiver, Randallstown High School.
It's LeBou, quarterback, Parkville High School.
Brian Meades, wide receiver, Franklin High School.
Antonio Williams, fullback, Chesapeake High School.
Tyler Principe, tight end, Northwest High School.
Joshua Belt, offensive tackle, South High School.
Sylvester Washington, wide receiver, Pikesville High School.
My man Jackson, running back, Lansdowne High School.
Dale Strother, right guard, Newtown High School.
Sean Perry, quarterback, Randallstown High School.
We're back to live action. That time it was 31. Check that 34, Kwame Jackson of Lansdowne on the carry. And close to first down yards. It looks like, Tim, they're going to be about a yard short. And I'm not sure what they're going to do. It looks like they're going to try to go for a first down here, Tim.
Yeah, well, you punt the ball away at this point, Chuck. It's wet out. It's probably a safe bet here to actually get up and try to run a play.
So the county team is going, for the most part, with a pro set I. Now they're going to more of a pro set offense right now with a flanker. You've got the flanker, number 83, Edwards, outside for the county. Here's Fuller under snap, and he calls timeout.
As we were talking a little bit earlier, Chuck, when these kids come in, last week they come in, they have about a week to learn an offense. Whether it's a quarterback, whether it's an offensive lineman, whether it's a running back, the holes can be different. The assignments are different. So it's a tough task for a lot of these younger kids. These kids are only seniors in high school to come in and learn a whole new offense in a week. There's
no question about that. And you've got a lot of passing quarterbacks out there, a lot of spread option quarterbacks out there. And when you're going to a typical power I offense, it kind of takes away a little bit what they do.
And not only that, your reads are different. The routes are different. So it's an all around. It's a whole different experience for kids that have not played this offense before.
They're going back to the I formation. Jackson from Lansdowne is deep in the I. Here's Corey Fuller over center. 4th down and 1, and Fuller sneaks it close to first down yardage. A fumble on the play. Let's see what happens. Did they blow the ball dead, Tim? I'm not sure.
I think they did. I think he may have gotten the first down, Chuck. It looked like he had crossed over the play and got hit and then came back down. They're going to spot it at the first down marker.
Big number 77, Tavon Barksdale, 5'10", 265 out of Forest Park. Literally flung him back on his back, and the ball was kind of catapulted out of there, and we still didn't see with the scrum who recovered it, but they say he was down by contact, very close to the first down. They're going to call timeout for a measurement. Not sure if he got it or not, Tim.
Chuck, I think that we're going to see a lot of this throughout the game. A lot of running straight up to the 2 and the 3 gap just because of the weather, and it's going to affect the game. It's definitely going to affect the quarterback coming out here thinking he's going to have a big day in the air. I don't see that happening today.
Well, especially on a night like tonight, field position is the county team does get the first down by half a football. So first and 10 county at the city 43-yard line. But when you look at what's happening out here, we're going to get to the Baltimore City defense in a second here, but when you look at what's going on here, especially they're playing a base 4-3. There's no blitzing in this game, folks. There's no stunting. It's just plain straight old football, Tim. Mm-hmm. There's a reverse there, this time to number 10. That's Danique Taylor, and he's run out of bounds for a loss. A nice hit that time by number 81, and that's Ryan Singletary out of Forest Park. And it looks like it's close to a 6-yard loss that time, Tim.
It was an end-around sweep that the defense then came in and pursued and made a great play.
At this time, we're going to introduce you to the Baltimore City defense.
Dana Kinley, defensive end, Southwestern High School.
Good job. Brian Green Scott, linebacker, Merville High School.
William Mayo, defensive tackle, Merville High School.
Aaron Cottrell, linebacker, Warburg High School.
Harry Brown, cornerback, Southwestern High School. Richard Lloyd, cornerback, Southside Academy.
Darren Perry, Maryland Daughter High, defensive end.
Ryan Singletary, Forest High School, free safety.
Tron Honeyblue, defensive tackle, Merville High School.
Troy King, defensive back, Poly High School.
Gene Chu, linebacker, Merville High School.
Antoine Reed, DB, Carver High School.
Alexander Blake, defensive back, Merville High School.
Calvin Brown, free safety, Samuel Banks High School.
Nathaniel Young, cornerback, Northwestern High School.
Roy Harris, smooth linebacker, Carver High School.
Come on.
Derek Nelson, defensive tackle, digital.
Brandon Armstrong,
Digital cornerback.
Alan Horton, Douglas, cornerback. Cortez Holmes, cornerback.
Kashif Williams is going to attempt the extra point. What a great fumble recovery that was by number 35, Aaron Cottrell, 6', 215-pound linebacker out of Walbrook. He missed the extra point, so 11:04 to go here at Poly Lumsden Stadium. We're going to keep it right here, Tim, because we want to kind of – it was a great passing play that time. I mean, the quarterback, LeBouf from Parkville, came in, made a great pass that time to Michael Baptist, the wide receiver, big, tall wide receiver out of Woodlawn, and a great hit that time. and a fumble recovery by Aaron Cottrell, and he took it 60 yards to the house.
Yeah, you know what it was? It was a good pass, but it was a safe pass.
Yes.
And again, it was his first pass of the game. It's not, get adjusted. A 5-yard, a 5-yard comeback. It was a great pass. The defense just played it, put a good hit up on the receiver there, Chuck, and it came over with the ball.
And that's something that you hate to miss that, but we want to give everybody an opportunity to meet all of our players here.
But I got to say, it was a good time to present the defense.
It sure was.
City,
It sure was. Now we watched the kick earlier, Tim, when he got the ball to about the 20-yard line, and I'm sure the head coach Eric Woodson from Northwestern High School was saying, "Hey, be careful. You've got some dangerous people back there." Mainly, number 10. Derek Taylor from Randallstown, he's run back a couple this year during the regular season.
And looked good in his last run back.
Yeah. So he's very dangerous. And remember, Tim, these are some of the best players from this area that are in this game. So everybody on this field is a quality football player.
Without a question.
Williams' kickoff is short. Taking about the 25-yard line. Run up to about the 35-yard line. That looks like that's... Tyler Principe from Owings Mills High School with a return. So Baltimore County now is going to have the ball 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now, Chuck, I do remember a while back ago when we were able to play in this game that they rotated first quarter, you have your starters, your second quarter, you have your second starters, third and fourth. Is it still the same? They can still rotate in and out at that point, correct?
It's all coach's decision. As a matter of fact, they put LeBeouf in there. He completed the pass in his first time on the field, and they had a fumble. But right now, Corey Fuller of Woodlawn is back into the game. And that time, Ian Sedan, the stocky halfback from Parkville, takes the ball across the 40 down to about the 41-yard line.
This just shows you about the weather conditions, how it's affecting the game. He cut off his left foot and slipped.
Well, Sedan's had a very sore ankle the last couple weeks. He was banged up in the Hereford game. Hereford really took it to him, a kid that had well over 1,000 yards rushing, but he's had a very sore ankle the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and he's gutting it out here. Here's Sedan off the left side, across the 45, down to about the 41 or 42-yard line, tackled by a host of City. And that just shows the power that Ian Sedan has.
Without a question. And what I'm most impressive here watching these first few plays is his ability to hit the hole quick.
Yep.
And you can give credit to the offensive line because they are opening up holes.
So they have 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line, and it looks like a good semblance of a drive. Now, Corey Fuller is an interesting kid, a great athlete out of Woodlawn, a kid that's a playmaker not only on offense but defense, and he is definitely, I talked to the Baltimore County head coach, Rich Stitchell, a little bit today about Fuller, and he's very impressed with his athletic ability. Here's 1st and 10 from the 49. Here's Fuller dropping back. He's going to scramble. Throws out to the left. It's complete. Goes out of bounds. That was completed to number 84, Michael Baptist of Woodlawn, across the 50, down close to the 47-yard line. So it'll be about a 4-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 6.
Quarterback did a great job there. Looked off and then came around with his safe outlet there and dished off a pretty decent pass to the outside there.
So Baptist right now, he's got 2 receptions and kind of a costly fumble, but he made a great, we used to call those, Coach Bob Davis at Towson High School used to say, son, that's a medicine ball. What's a medicine ball? That's going to take a lot of medicine to heal those ribs when you get done. 2nd and 4 at the 47-yard line for the county. Here's an inside handoff to 10. And that's Taylor. And he gets down to about the 45-yard line. That looked like there was going to be a big gain. They're going to mark it now closer to the 43, 44-yard line. So it's going to be about 3rd and 2. It looked like he had nothing, but he kind of squirmed his way another couple yards.
He did a great job there. I'm impressed here that.
And now they say he fumbled the ball, recovered by the city.
Again, this is what this weather does, Chuck. It's hard to hold on to the ball.
So the city's going to go on offense for the first time tonight. And at this time, we're going to, in a minute, we're going to introduce you to the Baltimore City offense. They take over 1st and 10 on their own 43-yard line. Starting quarterback tonight is Quentin Taylor, 5'9", 155-pound senior out of Northwestern High School. Inside handoff to 42, and that's Quentin Shaw out of Walbrook. Gets up to about the 44-yard line. It's about a gain of 1. Nice hit that time by number 40. It looks like it was number 43, Ian Sedano, who was playing defense out of Parkville High School as well. So 2nd and 9 at the 43. At this time, we're going to introduce you to the Baltimore City offense.
My name is Clever Pig for Jan. I play slot receiver and I go to Digital Harbor High School.
Quentin Taylor, quarterback, go to Northwestern High School. James Henson, running back, Digital Harbor High School.
Darryl Spencer, right guard, New York Academy High School.
Michael Pettigrew, running back, Samuel Banks High School.
T-Von Buxton, Forest Park High School, Bay Center.
Quentin Shaw, Walbrook High, running back.
Marvis Washington, tight end, Coverville Tech High.
Namdi Lucy, Patterson High School, offensive tackle.
Russell Machado, offensive line, Digital Harbor High School.
Justin Jiggets, wide receiver, Digital Harbor High School. Got Bryce, offensive guard, Baltimore Pikes at Division 2. Chris Hardy, Maryville, senior quarterback. Anthony Lee, Dr. Sam Banks, running back. Anthony Moore, Du Bois, play wide receiver.
Shantez Holmes, Patterson High School, linebacker.
Dante Watt, Digital Harbor High School, offensive line. Kasheep Williams, kicker, punter, quarterback, Forest Park.
Storer Hill, running back, Maryville.
Marcus Brown, defensive guard, Maryville. Wide receiver, Southside County.
Well, we just missed a great play, and I don't think Marcus Washington III was expecting that pass. He took it all the way down to about the 20-yard line. Great run after the catch, but he wasn't the intended receiver.
I'm
think
not
that
sure
time.
whether he was the intended receiver. You can again, we'll contribute to the ball being wet. The ball looked like it may come out of his hands a little different, but you don't know, Chuck. You're not the one that threw the ball, so
No, that's a good thing because it's awful wet out there. It's drying here, Tim.
I tell you what, a good throw and a good pass or a good catch.
It works now. 2nd down in about 6 at the 17-yard line of the county. Taylor under center. Hands the ball up the middle. 34, Andrew Leak out of Samuel Banks. Stopped by number 67, Andrew Ewers of Parkville.
Chuck, we talked about earlier today, how some of these kids out here, have maybe Division I, Division II, Division III schools looking at them. What do you think at this point, this stage, the possibilities of a Division I school being able to find a player that's playing in this game?
Well, most of these kids, there are a few kids that have not Division I offers, but Division I AA offers. They're basically in a wait-and-see mode. A lot of these kids, a few of these kids will go on to play college football, but mostly on a Division II or Division III level, Tim.
Which isn't uncommon. I mean, how many Division I scholarships are really out there in the first place? But
not that many right now.
But I tell you what, there's a lot of good Division I AA's and Division II schools out there, Chuck.
There's no question about that, Tim. They call it a timeout right now. At this time, we got a little bit of time, and we're going to introduce you to the Baltimore County defense.
Kevin Kikola,
Guys,
kicker,
helmets off,
punter,
please.
Capsule High School. Christy Ball Smith, corner, Old High School.
James Bittner, defensive tackle, Tabasco High School.
Marcus Rini, strong safety, Old High School.
Ricky Elvis, D and tight end, Milford High School.
Joseph Harrison, D tackle, Woodlawn High School.
G. Muhammad, Parkville High School, outside linebacker.
Ian Salone, D tackle, Parkville. Trayvon Winston, free safety, Lock Raven High School. Ryan Mays, DB, Franklin High School.
Tony Savage, cornerback, Newtown High School.
Ronald Green, linebacker, Franklin High.
Joe Coates, middle linebacker, North Smith.
David Bradley, outside linebacker, Dunbar.
Patrick Uri, defensive end, Western Tech.
Yes, D tackle, Parkville.
England Roberts, linebacker, strong safety, Franklin High.
Ron David, linebacker, Kenwood High School.
Thank you, gentlemen. Rolls out, looks deep in the end zone, and it's incomplete. Nice pass that time by Quentin Taylor as we come back to the action. And I tell you, the kid that I was talking about before, Savage, Tony Savage, They list him as an athlete out of Newtown, probably the best athlete in the game tonight. He's a kid that's highly recruited, is looking at a couple Division I schools right now. I heard rumors that he signed. I'm not exactly sure who he is signed with, but or who he's looking. But I know that his head coach, Rich Stitchell, thinks the world of him and thinks he's probably the best athlete on the team here.
Yeah, and you know what, Chuck? That says a lot, too, about we come over the last 10, 15 years. There's more athletes going into Division I football out of the state of Maryland, and specifically out of this area around here than ever before.
Right. Asa LeBou's back in the game, the quarterback out of Parkville, 6'2", 190. Very strong, solidly built kid. Throws the ball very hard. Has a nice tight spiral, Tim, but touch isn't his forte all the time. But he can throw the ball. He does throw a nice crisp. Here's the fumble that time. It's recovered by number 85, Antoine Reed, out of Carver. And now the city team has got the ball in business again, Tim. And I predict here in the first quarter, we're going to have at least 10 fumbles today.
You know what? I don't know, but, look at the scoreboard. It's still only 6-0. The county's turned the ball over 3 times. And it just goes to show you just don't know.
You just cannot get upset as a coach and a team. You got to assume that this is going to happen. You got to be patient, and they're going to fumble the ball too, Tim.
Exactly. It's going to happen. It's going to happen whether it was good conditions out or bad conditions. Again, they're running a whole different type of offense. They're not sure where their blockers are going. And, and surely not sure where they're cutting at some point.
Well, as you folks can see, there's a very solid fog that's kind of enveloped Lumsden Scott Stadium here on the campus of Poly High School, and it's a little bit of drizzle. It rained quite hard, though, Tim, most of the day today, up to about an hour before game time. It was pouring down rain here.
Well, you know what? I'm not so concerned about the rain at this point because we're not out on the field.
That's
what
right.
I am happy about, though, Chuck, is not 15 degrees like it was last year when we did this.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a warm night, Tim. It's kind of a damp night, but it's definitely not a parka night here at Poly Lumsden Scott Stadium. There's a timeout here on the field, and Tim, I look at what's going on here, and you look at what you being a quarterback in the center of this huddle. And when I played in this All-Star game, I was just a kicker. I played a little defensive back. Although I played quarterback in high school, I was a kicker and the punter of the game. But I wasn't invited to these meetings. What did the head coach say in these meetings in there?
To the players?
To the players.
Well, as a player, as an All-Star game, you've never coached a kid before. You just got to go out there and say, do your best and let's win this game.
And you say, hey, you 84, because you don't know half these kids' names either. Here's Taylor dropping back. He throws the ball close to the end zone. It is incomplete. Intended for number 82, Perry Brown out of Southwestern. That time, number 2, Trayvon Winston out of Lock Raven had good coverage that time.
I tell you what, I'm impressed with the quarterback. He's putting the ball up there, good touches, and we talked coverage on the corners too.
Yeah, it really was. And you look at Trayvon Wilson and you look at Tony Savage, 2 very good cover corners here for Baltimore County, and it's hard to find that in high school football.
Well,
Tim.
There's no question about it. Getting back to the quarterback, the last 2 or 3 throws out into the corner pylon, he's putting it either where his receiver can get it or nobody can get it, and that's the first rule to being able to play the quarterback position.
No question about that, and then especially on a night like tonight when you can't make mistakes. Here's Taylor, inside handoff to number 42. Oh, my goodness, a great defensive stop that time. Quentin Shaw didn't have anywhere to go that time. 35, Leo Roberts out of Franklin was right there to meet him as he got to the line of scrimmage, and I think, Tim, he might have lost a couple yards that time.
It came up, it was a game. It looked like a team tackle there, Chuck.
Well, not only that, the offensive line held, so they're going to go back a little further.
Anytime that you get into these types of games, it takes time for an offense to gel. It's like the beginning of a season, and whether you're playing high school, whether you're playing college, or whether you're playing in a pros, Chuck. It takes time for an offense to mold, and you're seeing it here.
You're watching the 2007 Baltimore County Baltimore City All-Star Game here on All In Television, brought to you by Harmon Sports and Entertainment Network. Chuck Harmon along with Tim Burke, and we have it looks as though second and about 20, Tim, here on the county's 34-yard line. So what do you do on second and 20, Tim? Is it a pass, a sweep? What do you do here?
It's a rollout pass.
And you better get rid of it. And Taylor is sacked by number 40. That's Ian Sedan again, the offensive halfback, playing a great linebacker as well. And it literally not only takes him out of field goal position, but it takes him out of scoring position right now.
It does. That was a great play. He came up and he pursued the ball. It was an outstanding play.
So he loses 9 on the play. It'll be a 3rd and 27 at the 41-yard line.
You know, we like to guess the plays, and what do you do at this point?
Well, I don't think there's too many 3rd and 27 plays in the playbook, Tim.
I think it's either a deep pass on the outside, or what do you think about a draw?
Well, you know what? These guys are athletes. You use their athleticism. You put them back in a shotgun, which you like anyway, Tim, and you let the athleticism take over, and you hope somebody slips and falls, which could happen, and a big play. We've already seen a couple big plays already here in the first quarter. Here's Taylor dropping back. He looks left. He throws the ball down the sideline. It is incomplete. Nice play that time by Winston again, breaking up the ball. That time was intended for Perry Brown out of Southwestern. And again, Winston out of Lock Raven right there. And Brown has 3 inches on him.
Well,
nice job.
I was just thinking about that, Chuck. The receivers over at the city side, I mean, these are big kids out there.
So that puts it back in 4th down and about 27. So the punting game is going to come on for the city. Kashif Williams, who does it all at Forest Park. He's a quarterback, kicker, and punter for Coach Obie Barnes at Forest Park. Back deep is number 1, Tony Savage for the county. And the kick's going to bounce about the 15-yard line, and it's going to be rolled dead about the 19-yard line. So, you know, it's inside the 20. You can't ask for anything better than that.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, I'd be happy just to get the punt off on a night like tonight and not slip and fall. But, you know, fields like this field turf, it's a sport turf, SportX turf like they have at M&T Bank Stadium where the Ravens play. Thousands and thousands of gallons it drains in the course of an hour. It's amazing.
Is it slippery, though? You know, I've never played on this type of field. Is it slipperier than, let's say, your grass field?
Well, you know, it depends. There's parts of it that are and parts of it that aren't, but I would rather play on this on a wet turf. You're going to get a little bit better traction than going across in like mud and dirt and grass. So that pass that time was incomplete, intended for number 81, Sylvester Washington of Pikesville. And that time the quarterback put it right there.
You can't ask for a better pass than that. I'm impressed by the way that this kid throws the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing a great job. I like how he's getting back quick. You know, the 3 to 5 step drop back, and he's getting rid of the ball quickly.
Well, we said LeBoop throws a tight spiral. That time you had to put a little something on it, so that was about a 20-yard pass. And, you know, you can't really get on a kid tonight with a wet football, but that was definitely, on any given night, a very, very catchable ball. Here's an end around by Dariq Taylor out of Randallstown, and he gets up to about the 25-yard line, so he gets about 6 on the play. And so bring up 3rd and 4 at the 25-yard line. And sometimes in games like this, Tim, nobody really knows what's coming. These trick plays, these end-around plays are big-time plays.
Without a question.
You just got to watch your cuts. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, a lot of these kids are speedsters, and they don't like, you know, it takes away their speed, a lot of the speed. But, you know, it's the same for one, it's the same for the other. So
this is true.
It all equals out. Now, if you had a bunch of mudders, Tim, that'd be a different story. You could just run straight at them. Of course, there's not much mud on an artificial turf field. Here's LeBouf over center, 3rd and 4 at the 25-yard line. Here's the inside hand. LeBouf fakes a nice fake that time. LeBouf's going to get sacked, but he gets back to the line of scrimmage. That time, number 61, Derek Nelson, 6'1", 310 pounds out of Digital Harbor, literally was riding his back, and LeBouf still got 3 yards.
There wasn't many options there for the quarterback there for LeBouf. You know, again, you know, when you get into a different offense, it looks like some of the receivers out there didn't really know where they were supposed to be.
No.
When I played the way that they were running their route, so can't really put fault to the quarterback on that play.
Here's number 12, Kevin Kikola, back in punt formation for Baltimore County. And he gets off a pretty nice kick. It's going to bounce at about the 45. Let's see how far it goes. And maybe should have let the ball go a little bit further, as it's down by Baltimore County's David Bradley out of Dundalk, right on the 44-yard line. Now City's going to take it 1st and 10, right on the 44-yard line. No score here at well, check that. 6-0 City with 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 60-yard interception return. A fumble recovery by Aaron Kittrell out of Walbrook. The extra point was no good. But fast and furious here in the first quarter, Tim.
It's a good game.
I'm looking at the offensive line of the City. They don't have a lot of height but they sure have a lot of size to them. Taylor's still a quarterback from Northwestern High School. Here's the handoff inside to 42, and that's Quentin Shaw out of Walbrook. He gets across the 45 down to about the 47-yard line, hit initially by number 52, Joe Coates out of Milford Mill. And I can tell you, that kid is a warrior. He is an absolute monster at linebacker. You know, I happened to be doing the Hereford-Milford Mill game, and I know for a fact that Coates had over 20 tackles in that football game. It was probably the closest game that Hereford played all year, a 17-14 victory over Milford Mill. But it was no fault of Joe Coates. Well over 20 tackles. He was all over the field. Tremendous presence in the middle of the field. Here's the inside handoff. Read really well by Baltimore County. 68 was there. Check that, 58 again. Jared David out of Kenwood was there, read it right away, and 42, Quentin Shaw, didn't have much room at all.
We got to look, though, Chuck. Either it was a delayed handoff, which I don't think it was, or it's just really not understanding your assignment. Again, something that happens when you don't really know the offense.
Well, let's just say it was a delayed handoff. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Third down and 7 at the 47-yard line. Quentin Taylor still a quarterback. Yeah, Quentin Shaw back in the backfield. Third down and 7. And Tim, this could probably be another rollout waggle. Well, he's going to have to roll out somehow, and he gets sacked again. Oh, he gets away from it. Nice job by Taylor that time, just to get a little space until number 67 of Baltimore County, Andrew Ewers of Parkville, comes in. And I don't know how he got her out of the first.
I tell you what, that was a great play by the quarterback to get out of the first.
Yeah.
Get out of the first hit. You know, I'm impressed by both defenses tonight.
Yep. That's definitely going to be a defensive advantage, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. With the score, the City All-Stars 6, the County All-Stars 0. You're watching the 2007 Baltimore County Baltimore City All-Star game at Lubman Field at Poly High School here on All In Television. We'll be back in a minute. County All-Star. We're back here at the start of the second quarter. Chuck Harmon, Tim Burke here at the 2007 Baltimore County Baltimore City All-Star game. And the punt's going to get away. And it's blocked! And it's recovered by the county. Let me see who that is. Number 77 for the county, Patrick Gilreath out of Western Tech, blocked it and recovered it on the City 31-yard line, Tim.
Hey, Chuck, do you recognize anything like that? Has that ever happened to you before?
No, never happened to me personally, and but it's happened to quite a few people that I've seen, but there's not a worse feeling in the world, Tim, than have something like that blocked.
I'm sure not. But that's it's an all-star game. Things like this happen.
You just can't practice that. You know, I played for coaches say, we don't punt. We're going to get first downs, but what do you do when you're 4th and 27?
Well, your New England Patriots thought they were Randy Moss.
Corey Fuller now in the quarterback. Here's an inside handoff, fake handoff, end around this time to 85, and that's Derek Flickling of Randallstown across the 20 down to the 19-yard line. A gain of 12 yards, a nice play that time. That's good for a Baltimore County first down, Tim.
Regardless of what the score is, Baltimore County's been driving the ball. Each possession they've had, Chuck, they've done a good job establishing the run. You can see that they can pass the ball. And although the score's 6-0.
Well, the name of the game in football, Tim, is score.
Score points.
You got to score. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there, namely the Baltimore Ravens, that are good 20-20 teams. But, you can't settle for the field goal or goose eggs on the scoreboard. You don't win many games that way, Tim. First and 10 at the City 19-yard line. Here's Corey Fuller. There's a handoff to 33, and that's Rashad Cromer of Western Tech. A flag on the play, and he doesn't get much that time. Matter of fact, he might have lost a couple yards. They call it a flag. Let's see what it's going to be.
Looks like it may have been an offensive holding.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like the preliminary indication is holding against the county, and it's declined. How many holding penalties do you see declined, Tim?
Well, when you
especially
lose
10 yards.
Well, it was a loss of 5 yards or 3 yards.
Well, you figure you got 10 yards from the spot. So the ball's right there, and you're going to go back another 10 yards. So
repeat first down.
You repeat first down, but look at the weather here. You're fighting for field position here. 2nd and 13 at the 22. Here's Fuller. Throws the ball out in the flat to 84, and that's Baptist. Down the sideline, run out of bounds that time by number 35, and that's Aaron Kittrell at about the 16-yard line. So he picks up 6 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up, 3rd and 7, Tim, at the 16.
Yeah, I mean, that's an effective play. It's especially effective play here in the County All-Star game because, again, the linebackers really aren't allowed to blitz or come up.
Right.
So what happens, those short routes are open.
Well, that's about all because right now it's definitely not in the advantage of the passing team right here because there's not as much room to work here.
Yeah, that is true.
So if you got a big hoss, and I look in there right now at number 44, Antonio Williams, big fullback out of Chesapeake. He's in the game right now. We'll see what they do, and that's who they give it to. But nice play at time on defense by number 75, William Mayo, 5'11", 240-pound defensive tackle out of Mervo, kind of put a big halt to that. No gain, so it'll bring up 4th and 7. And Tim, I thought that was the call I would have made anyway. That was just a great defensive play that time.
That was a great defensive play.
So it looks like the county is going to attempt a field goal. And I talked to Rich Stitchell. Now, Tim, I know my kickers, and this is probably the best year I've seen in the Baltimore County with kickers. There's 5 quality kickers in the county, only one of whom is in this game, and the other 4 are in the playoffs and not eligible to play in this game. But we're looking at from the 24, a 34-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it looks good. But a flag on the play. Kevin Kikola out of Franklin kicked it offside against City, and I think that'll be declined. At least it should be. And they'll give them unless they say it happened before.
So I think it sounded like it came before the snap of the ball.
You never want to take points off the board if you don't have to. The way it looks as though it happened before, so they blew it dead. So instead of a 34-yard attempt, it's now going to be a 29-yard attempt. A timeout on the field, timeout Baltimore County.
This is decision time at this point. Do you go for it here with a yard and a half, or do you still kick the field goal?
Well,
you're down 6-0.
We were talking about Kikola, and he was hitting him in practice between 45 and 50 yards on a consistent basis in practice. That's practice.
But it's 6-0. You haven't seen City being able to drive down and really score any points at this point. I mean, do you take your chance?
Well, if you have a good field goal kicker, you need to get some kind of points here, Tim, because if 3 times you've been down in the area and you haven't come away with anything, at least psychologically, if you can kick a field goal here, you got some points on the board.
Yeah, but if you miss the attempt, the City's in a horrible field position at this point.
Well, they get the ball back on the 20-yard line, so if they miss it here, you're looking about a 7. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Personally, I'd kick a field goal right here, and I think but I think they're going to go for it. Let's see what kind of defense that Coach Woodson has in store.
I'm guessing it's going to be a 4-3.
Coach Eric Woodson is assisted by Anthony Knox out of Reginald Lewis, Skip Hartley out of Digital Harbor, and Rashid Pinckney out of Samuel Banks. So it's going to be 4th and 3 on the 12-yard line. Fuller under center. In the backfield is Ian Sedan. Ian Sedan across the 10. Bounces up the 5. And he's into the end zone. Yes, for a touchdown. Well, Tim, you were right. You called it 12-yard touchdown by Ian Sedan of Parkville High School. Shows his speed, his quickness, and his power because he just ran over a tackler and skipped down the sidelines for a score.
Most impressive there, he saw the opening and he took the opening. It's hard for young running backs really to understand that you got to get up into the hole as quick as possible.
Don't dance, hit it hard.
Don't dance and hit it hard. It's exactly what he did. That was a great run.
Well, Kikola's going to attempt the extra point. Asa Labu to hold. And Kikola's kick is up and good.
And Chuck, you got to kick the ball.
Yep. 12 minutes, 42 seconds to go here in the second quarter. The score, the Baltimore County All-Stars 7 and the City All-Stars 6. And we're going to keep it right here, Tim. And, as you look out, I've been on these fields where you can't even see 10 yards in front of you. As the fog gets a little thicker, Tim, what's it going to do for the quality of play here on the field?
I don't know. The fog is pretty thick right now, Chuck. I don't know if it can get much thicker.
Thank God they've got the brand new lighting system here at Poly, because if it was one of those substandard high school lights, it'd be hard to see. It definitely, that ball goes up in the air. You don't even know where the heck it is. I would hate to be a punt returner on a night like tonight because you couldn't see it.
Well, you know what? Ray Lewis and Jonathan Ogden, they put out the best for the school, right?
Yeah, the Ravens did a great job. They have to be commended for their assistance to not only this field, but their assistance in giving uniforms to the city high schools last year. And it was a wonderful gesture, and they should be commended. Kekola does a little pooch kick, and it's taken by number 88 of the city, Richard Lloyd. He fumbles the ball and gets knocked out of bounds. Run out of bounds that time by number 23 of the county team, Chris Duvall Smith out of Overly.
You know, and they chose not to kick it.
That was a smart thing. That was a little pooch play, and look what happened. You never know what can happen. He fumbled the ball, and it went back an extra 6-7 yards. So the city's going to take over now at their own 28-yard line. Or where are they marking the ball, Tim? Looks like he was on the 28.
Yeah.
Yep, they're going to mark it on the 28. The referee was standing on the 30, but they corrected themselves, and so now the city's going to take possession here on the 28-yard line. Now in at quarterback is number 2, Chris Hardy out of Mervo. Mervo had an excellent season, making it to the regional finals as he fumbles the ball, and he is sacked for a big loss that time. Number 83 for the White, Ricky Edwards out of Milford Mill, the tight end / defensive end, was right there. Johnny on the spot that time, Tim.
You know, it looked
big
like
loss.
It looked like maybe he didn't get the ball from the center. And, again, something that's going to happen.
Now, we talked about it earlier when the county kept fumbling it. Hey, you got to expect that it's going to happen to them too, and it did. And now that was kind of costly now, because now you're back in dangerous territory now, because now you're inside your own 20 on the 17-yard line, and you just lost 12 yards on that play. So we'll see what they do now. It's going to be 2nd and 22 at the 17-yard line. Here's what. He scrambles. He gets around the left end. Gets a nice block that time. He gets up to about the 25 to the 26-yard line. He got an awesome block that time by number 70, Dante Watson out of Digital Harbor. Just flattened
that's just being heads up. That is being heads up.
You know, he improvised, and Watson, it wasn't even designed. He just turned and looked for somebody to hit, and the kid ran right into him, and he flattened him. And it got his quarterback, Chris Hardy, an extra 5 yards that time. That was a great run that time.
Yeah, that was an excellent run. And the awareness to know that his pocket was collapsing right behind him.
So it's 2nd down and 12 now at the 26-yard line. He's back in a shotgun formation, is Hardy. Twins right. Hardy drops back. He looks right. Now he's going to throw long. Looks deep, and it is almost intercepted that time by number 2, Trayvon Winston, and it was even a better play that time by the receiver, Clifford Piggard Jr. out of Digital Harbor. He came back and played defensive back when he was a wide receiver.
Well, you talk about heads-up plays
on
the last play, but look at this play here. You know, it looked like the receiver, looked like the quarterback didn't have the grip of the ball, you know, prior to throwing the ball.
Now you put yourself in a bad situation, and I didn't think it was a bad pass. I thought it was a better defensive play by the offensive receiver.
And the throw itself didn't come off the way you like it to come off, but it was a good read.
Right.
You know, the one-on-one outside. If he beats him there, you know, it's a touchdown.
Well, Kashif Williams back in punt formation for the city, and you have Trayvon Winston deep. And here's Winston at the 45-yard line. He cuts across the 50. Nice tackle that time by the city. Let me see who that was. Looks like that was number 48 of the city, Michael Pettigrew, a 5'8", 170-pound running back / special teams player. Everybody plays special teams in an all-star game for Samuel Banks High School.
When we talk about special teams, how important is, you know, obviously we know how important special teams are, but, you know, being that you're a coach of special teams and so forth, you know, how hard is it for them to make adjustments on the special team side of the ball in a game like this?
Well, ordinarily you don't have that many starters in on special teams ordinarily. Some teams like to play a lot of starters. Some teams don't. But on an all-star game, they're all starters. They're all great athletes. But a lot of these kids haven't played special teams. They haven't played the gunner position. They don't really know how to form a wedge as well as some other kids do. So it can be a little tricky. You've got to work on it. Here's LaBouffe. Throws the ball across the middle. It's complete. Across the 40, breaks loose at the 35, down to about the 32-yard line. A great reception that time by number 84, Michael Baptist out of Woodlawn. And that time, LaBouffe showed his arm strength, put it right there on the money.
I'm extremely impressed by the way this kid's playing right now.
LaBouffe did a great job that time. Not only did he not look at one receiver, he looked right. He did his progressions, as you like to say, Tim.
Yes.
And he came across, and Baptist made a great cut and put it right on his hands.
And those passes are one of the hardest passes to make in high school football. And any level is to dig cross. They call it a dig cross.
Yep.
A 5 to 10 yard and dig across.
But as you know, Tim, in high school football, that's the most effective pass to run. Here's a little swing out of the backfield to complete to number 10, and that's Derek Taylor out of Randallstown, and he gets the ball down to about the 30-yard line. Only a game of a couple, but see, it's plays like that, Timmy, that you were famous for at Towson High School. So you throw the ball about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I did the shuffle pass. I did the shuffle pass.
It should be a running play, but
throw the ball downfield.
It was always counted in passing statistics.
Throwing the ball downfield, I could throw with my right and left hand, shuffling.
Well, and it always helps. It always helps when your dad is the statistician, doesn't it, Tim? Yeah. Second down and 8 at the 30-yard line of the city. LaBouffe under center for the county. Here's a motion around the right side, that time to number 22, and that's Dominique Salms of Chesapeake. And he gets inside the 30, run out of bounds that time by number 44, Garen Green Scott out of Mervo. He read that real well and held Williams to about a 1-yard gain, so it'll be about 3rd and 6 now, Tim, at the 29-yard line.
Again, you got to be somewhat impressed by the Baltimore County, the way that they're driving the ball, the way that the time of possession is probably in the county's favor at this point.
Well, Dominic Zames had a great year this year at Chesapeake. Chesapeake had a tremendous rebirth in football, going 8-2 this year and making the number 1 seed in the region playoffs. Actually, number 2 seed in the playoffs in the 1A, and did a great job. Very, very proud of how they did in the Southern County this year. Here's the inside handoff that time to number 48, Donald Green of Franklin.
It looked like he about taking 3 or 4 guys along with him on that run.
Picks up a good solid 4 yards. So now, Tim, you got a 4th and a makeable 2 yards.
And again, I think when you're down this far, the city hasn't really proven that it can drive the ball, the field. Take your shots, go for it.
Well, Coach Rich Stitchell of Newtown is no stranger. Actually, I coached with him in this game 3 years ago when the city defeated the county at Perry Hall High School. A very close game, 21-16. Very cold night that. I remember that like it was yesterday.
You can always remember the cold nights.
And the games that you lose. Here's Sedan. He goes around the right end. At the 25, cuts inside to the 20, down to about the 17-yard lot. Tripped up that time by number 81, Ryan Singletary of Forest Park. And, Tim, there's some players out there with no jerseys on, with no numbers on. So I apologize if you're in on the tackle. I have no way of knowing who the heck you are right now. And there was some mix-up. There wasn't enough jerseys, and it's really hard to see who you are if you don't have a number.
That's why you call, Chuck. That's why you call these games.
So we do the best that we can, but you know it's you if you made the tackle.
Absolutely.
So the county on a great run that time by Sedan. 1st and 10 at the city 18-yard line. They're going to a power I. Sedan in the backfield with Green. Here's LaBouffe. Throws a nice go outside, and it's going to be pass interference. Did he catch the ball? No, he didn't. But it's going to be pass interference. That was intended for number 85, Derek Flickling. A very nice pass that time, but the defensive back for the city, 84, Troy King out of Poly, was all over him that time. But sometimes it's better to do that than give up a touchdown.
Sometimes you're right. The ball, it looked like, they were both going for the ball. The ball was a little underthrown.
Yep.
And it happens. And usually it's called on the defense.
And it's not like NFL rules. It's half the distance to the goal. So it's not like it's going to be 1st and 10 on the 1. 1st and goal on the 1. It's going to be half the distance to that. So they're going to mark the ball at about the 8.5-yard line. First and goal. Actually, it's going to be first and goal just outside of the 8-yard line. So we'll see what the county has in store now. They went for a full house backfield, Tim. And how would you describe this formation here, Tim?
It looks like it's hard for me to see from this
kind of an offset eye. With a motion there, Sedan in motion. Inside handoff to Green. Green takes it across the 5. Hit initially there by number 61, Derek Nelson, out of Digital Harbor. They're going to mark him just shy of the 5-yard line, so it's going to be second and goal at the 5.
It looked like
about 3 yards.
Look what they did there. It looked like they brought a tight end in, or they brought the receiver and ran a single back.
Mm-hmm.
Nice thing about that formation, if you can, and you can motion out, you put a little havoc on the defensive corner. It's not real sure what you're doing.
Right. So they're going to mark it a little closer to the 6, it appears. So it's going to be second and goal at the 6-yard line. LeBeau out of Parkville under center. Green is the lone back. Here it's kind of an offset eye here. Here's LeBeau again. Slant pattern across the middle, and it's incomplete. That time, 82 Perry Brown was on coverage. The intended receiver from Pikesville was Sylvester Washington.
I like the call there, though.
I do too.
Like the call there.
It was kind of just an all-around good play that time. It was a good pass and a nice attempt to catch it, and a probably better coverage on the defense. Third and goal at the 6 for the County All-Stars as they go back into an I formation. Here's LeBeau. Hand off to Sedan. Sedan around the right side. Left side, good. 6 yards for a Baltimore County touchdown. His second touchdown of the game. He looks good. It looks like his ankle feels a little better tonight, Tim.
Well, I tell you what, he's really hitting his holes quick, and there wasn't really much of a hole there. It's more or less being able to get to the outside of your tight end. Well,
I talked to Coach Stitchell a little bit this morning about Sedan. He said he's not going to start him tonight, not because he wasn't their best running back or one of their best running backs, is he didn't know if his ankle could go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm impressed by what I'm seeing so far tonight.
Kevin Kikola out of Patapsco. I'm sorry I said Franklin earlier, out of Patapsco High School to kick the extra point. His kick is up, and it's good. 6:53 to go here in the second quarter. The score, Baltimore County 14, the City All-Stars 6. You're watching the 2007 Baltimore County Baltimore City All-Star Game here on All In Television. We'll be back in a minute. .653 here to go in the second quarter. 14-6. Baltimore County has just taken the lead, courtesy of 2 touchdowns by Ian Sedan of Parkville High School. So the county is going to kick off. Looks like the rain has subsided a little bit, Tim, but the fog is getting intense. And here's a little pooch kick again. That's going to be a live football. And it goes out of bounds just shy. Actually, they say it went out on the 46-yard line, so that's going to be a penalty, Tim. And in high school football, they can either take on the 40-yard line or a re-kick.
Well, don't have to go 10 yards, too.
Yep.
That's why he didn't try grabbing the ball.
I don't know. I don't understand that. You just scored 2 consecutive touchdowns, and you've got a kicker with a good leg. Why would you attempt a kick like that? I don't know. Your thoughts on that?
There's a reason. It's a guy that's potentially going to get the kickoff that you don't want to get the ball into his hands. But, I say kick it away.
Wouldn't you try to pop it?
I say kick it away.
Around the third? Yeah, you got to kick it away.
It's an all-star game. Everybody wants to.
Now, look at the field position that they have now. And they have the ball at the 49-yard line of the county. And basically, you got a 9-yard gain on that. Great field position this time. Chris Hardy back in shotgun formation for the city. He drops back. He looks across the middle. Now he throws down the right side. It is complete down to the 10-yard line. To who was that? Number 8. That was number 8. Marcus Washington, the third out of Carver. What a beautiful play that was.
I tell you, that was a great read by the quarterback and a great catch.
Sylvester Washington gave him quite a hit on the tackle, but my goodness, a 37-yard play, 38-yard play that time, and that's
you couldn't have placed the ball any better.
Oh, it was a beautiful throw. Beautiful throw. First and 10 at the 11-yard line, and they could still conceivably get a first down here. You always like 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's the handoff around the right side, and a nice play that time by the county. 67. Andrew Ewers made a great play to stop the runner, 43 Stewart Hill out of Mervo, for a 2-yard loss.
You know, I'd like to see the city take more advantage to your outside receivers. These kids are big kids out there. Throw the ball up and let them make a play.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Tim. In the previous games, I've seen most of these All-Star games, being a part of a couple of them myself. I can tell you where City really hurts teams is with the wide receivers. They throw the ball up, and they've got wide receivers that can go get the ball. Here's Hardy, throws the ball to the end zone, and it is almost intercepted that time. 88 did a great job that time, and that's Marcus Vini out of Overly did a great job defending Richard Lloyd out there. And I tell you, Tim, if you're going to make that play, you got to throw it toward the back of the end zone or toward the sideline, the corner.
I like that play. I like the way the play was designed, but I'm looking at the outside receivers. I'm looking at the back of the pylon. I want to place the ball right on top of the pylon. I want to make my receiver go make a play.
So now you got 3rd and 12 at the 13-yard line. Here's Hardy. Hardy throws the ball to the corner, and it is incomplete. It looked for a minute that it was completed to number 28. No, that's number 22, Anthony Moore out of W.E.B. Du Bois.
I tell you, that was a good throw. It was a good throw, and he threw the ball, almost from one side of the field to the other side. Got it right there.
Cristobal Smith again was in position. So now you've got a dilemma now. It's 4th and 12 from the 13-yard line, and you've shown almost every pass option you have right now. Do you maybe switch up a little bit?
Well, you're not going to run the ball at this.
No, you got to throw the ball. So here we go, 4th and 12 from the 13-yard line.
Looking here, it looks like trips left. Now they go back into a...
Well, they have James Henson Jr. in the background as a single back, and there's going to be a timeout. And we're going to take a timeout too, Tim. 5 minutes, 25 seconds to go here in the second quarter. The score, the Baltimore County All-Stars 14, the Baltimore City All-Stars 6. You're watching the 2007 Baltimore City All-Star Game here on All In Television. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back. 5 minutes, 25 seconds to go with 4th down and 12 at the 13-yard line. Here's Hardy. Looks across the middle, throws it. It's incomplete. Intended for number 1, Carlos Smith of Forest Park, and a flag on the play, a late flag. Let's see what this is going to be about, Tim.
Chuck, from here it looks like
it's going to be defensive pass interference. I didn't see where the violation was, but it was a very late flag. It was from the side judge, the cornerback all the way in the back. That's an automatic first down.
I have to say this. I don't understand why you would call play 5 to 6 yards short of the end zone. I mean, for me, you got to throw it into the end zone.
Well, that's what the Ravens do every Sunday, Tim. Tim hates
No,
that.
I'm going to make the comment.
Tim hates that, but it's true, Tim. You're right. You gotta if you need 10, go 11, right?
Exactly.
You can always come back one.
Exactly.
First and goal at the 7-yard line. The City back in an I formation. Washington in motion. Here's the handoff to 35, and that's Kittrell. He goes nowhere. Big 65 for the county. And to make Joseph Harrison out of Woodlawn was there to make sure he didn't go anywhere. As a matter of fact, they lost close to 3 yards now, so it'll be second and goal back at the 10. Also, that stop was Andrew Ewers out of Parkville High School. So you have second and 10 at the 10-yard line. Second and goal at the 10-yard line. And remember, folks, you can't blitz or stun or do anything in these games. You have to play a straight-up defense. It makes it easier on the offenses, but so far, you could fool me by that. There's the fake handoff. Throws across the middle. It's complete. Down to about the 5-yard line. Now knocked back about the 6-yard line. That was Anthony Moore out of Du Bois High School. Great defense that time by the county to keep him inside the stripe. And actually, Tim, it was only about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, but a good pass.
Yeah, it was. It was a safe pass. But you saw the pursuit speed
and
that the county has.
But I do like to play. It's called a throwback. You come around to the right-hand side and throw back to your left. And the defense did. They played a great job. They played good coverage on that pass. And that is a tough pass to stop if run correctly.
Third and goal at the 6. I'll tell you, Tim, don't you hate as a quarterback have to run all the way back to the sideline every play? When you were quarterback at Salisbury State back in the day, your coach made you run.
Salisbury, CW, when I was at Long Island, LIU, same thing. Back and forth, back and forth.
And there's something, Tim, that can't happen, a delay of game. When you've just picked, now you're going to lose 5 again, back to the 11 again.
Chuck, it was hard enough for me to be able to learn an offense, read a defense, but to have to do the hand signals too.
Right. Well, then you got to run 40 across the field. 40. You're running 80 yards every time.
I said, just bring the play in, or I'll come and you can tell me the play.
I'll call the play myself.
It's easier. The hand signals, I could never understand them.
Here's Hardy. He's not going anywhere, folks. He is sacked. 77 and 67. Ewers again on the stop, on the sack. Andrew Ewers out of Parkville and number 77, Patrick Gilrath of Western Tech, were there to meet Hardy at about the 18-yard line. So now it's fourth and goal at the 18. They're not going positive yardage.
I think that probably, Chuck, I think they're going to kick this one.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to try to attempt a field goal here. They got to try something. Maybe a hook and ladder. That always works. It works more times than not because people don't expect it. It worked for Perry Hall this year. I saw that firsthand. Fourth and goal at the 18. Hardy back in the shotgun for City. And it looks like it's going to be a legal motion against the offense. Both the receivers took off just the split too soon. And that's going to back them up an extra 5 yards, Tim. So you've gone from the 6-yard line now back to the 23-yard line in 2 plays.
You know what? I mean, the Baltimore County's defense is playing good defense. The City was able to drive the ball down. They had put together a great drive.
Yes,
a couple of nice passes, some nice runs. Baltimore County stepped up, and as a result, it's fourth and about 30.
Well, they had to, considering that City had the ball first and 10 on their 49-yard line to start the drive. Great field position. A great 29-yard pass down the middle.
Now, at this point, if you're a quarterback, you throw the ball up. Yeah, if it gets intercepted, it gets intercepted.
You throw it for the end zone here.
You got to throw it for the end zone.
I look at it this way. An interception in the end zone just as good as a punt right
That's
now.
Exactly right.
Here's Hardy. He throws the ball, and he does go to the end zone. Throws the ball up, and it is batted away. Nice defensive play that time by number 2, Trayvon Winston out of Lock Raven High School. Baltimore County will take over first and 10 on their own 23-yard
line. Not
line.
a bad play. A good read.
Yeah.
He had a step on him. He just has to get the ball out there a little bit further. I think probably if the ball's a little wet right now, the ball's coming off your fingers, you're not being able to, you're losing 5 to 6 yards on these throws.
Well, the officials try to keep the ball as dry as possible.
Well, we know that doesn't happen.
You're right. Tell that to the center and quarterback.
You're not getting a new ball in and out every down.
Now, Tim, on extreme wet nights like tonight, could you use a glove to throw?
No, you couldn't. But I will say this: the advantage on a wet night like tonight is to the offense.
Right.
If you got a quarterback who can hold on to the ball.
Well, because the offense knows where they're going.
That's exactly right.
Speaking of offense, the county's back on offense again. Corey Fuller, kind of an inside handoff that time. What a nice run that time by 44, Antonio Williams out of Chesapeake, across the 40 down to the 41-yard line, tackled by the city's Ryan Singletary out of Forest Park. An 18-yard gain that time on it, kind of almost looked like a Statue of Liberty play.
It was a draw.
Yeah.
It was in a shotgun draw.
It was a beautiful handoff that time. He had a good fake. And Timmy, quarterback, the main thing with a quarterback when you run out of the shotgun, you better know how to fake.
And you better know how to get rid of the ball quick.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line for the county. And the ball's almost intercepted by number 82, Perry Brown, out of Southwestern High School. And that time, Fuller didn't put much on that ball.
Well, I'm not sure. I think he may have thrown the ball a little too late, but you got to give credit to the defensive side of the ball there. He came up, he saw, he read his eyes, and he almost made a big play there.
Well, Tim, I got to tell you, that was almost out the gate for 48 on that play.
That's like one of those out patterns that you kind of just lay up there.
2nd down and 10.
But to the quarterback's defense, a good read. Just got to get the ball out a little bit quicker.
So Williams is back in the backfield. You've got, for the county, number 34, Kwame Jackson of Lansdowne. He's out at a slot. Fuller looks to pass. He's going to scramble now across the 40. Breaks a tackle up across the 45, down about the 47-yard line. Nice play that time to pick up at least 5 or 6 yards. Tackle by number 60. Check that, number 84. That's Antoine Reed out of Poly.
That was a great play to get out. I tell you, the city did a great job covering the receivers downfield.
They did.
I looked at it, I said, this is going to be a coverage sack. He's able to get out and make a play.
Well, like we said earlier in the first quarter, the coaching staff of Stitchell, Rich Stitchell from Newtown, Todd Hawkins of Lansdowne, Phil Blackwell of Overly, Howard Jackson of Newtown, Mark Agent of Owings Mills, and Rick Omaggio of Lansdowne. These guys, I talked to a lot of these coaches before the game, Tim. We were down on the field talking to these guys. I mean, they just think this kid's a great athlete. They thought they were going to have, as the other quarterback, Tayshawn Perry. However, Tayshawn Perry is not able to play in tonight's game due to a school decision that he cannot play. He's here at the game with his jersey on, but he's not eligible to play in the game tonight. So that's why they're going with 2 quarterbacks instead of 3. But it's more playing time for those guys. So here's a pitch out to Williams. Williams across the 50, the 45, down inside the 43, almost to the 42-yard line. Tackled by number 85, Antoine Reed of Carver. So under a minute to go now. It looks like the county's got to move right now. 43-yard line. They've got a timeout left. Actually, they've got 2 timeouts left. The clock is running, Tim. It looks like they're putting together a pretty effective drive here. And he stops the clock. That's a smart play to stop the clock and save a timeout. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 43.
You look at it, 2 effective run plays in his possessions thus far.
Hey, I'm impressed that they can get to the line, and they know enough to slam the ball down. And you got to.
No quarterback wants to do that because that's an incompletion, right?
That's an incompletion. Right.
Give the guy
Coach,
props,
Coach,
right?
I can't do that. That goes against my completion percentage.
I'm at 68% right now.
Yeah, coaches don't want to hear that.
You're right, though. You're right.
How many coaches out there really care about stats, Tim? They care about the W's and L's. You and I care about the stats. They don't. 2nd and 10 on the 43 of City. Fuller. Oh, little trickeration here, Tim. Oh, and Williams fumbles the ball, and it's going to be. I think the county got it back.
Yeah.
It looks like number 65, Joseph Harrison, fell on the ball on the 49-yard line. A little end-around reverse trickeration, Tim, and that wet field played a part in that one. That was funny. Third and a long way, third and about 19 now. We feel horrible for 34 Kwame Jackson out of Lansdowne.
I think that they're probably not going to run another play here.
No, I don't. Well, what I do right now, Tim, I'd stay back, and they go back and just throw the ball as far as I can and get to the locker room where it's nice and warm and dry. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Fuller throws the ball up down the middle, and it is intercepted on the 6-yard line by 81, Ryan Singletary. He's trying to get out of it, and he can't. Maybe gains a yard, but that's going to do it for the first half. A wild and woolly first half here at Powys Lumsden Stadium in the 2007 Baltimore County, Baltimore City All-Star Game. We're at halftime with the score. Baltimore County 14, Baltimore City 6. We'll be back for some halftime comments in a minute. You're watching the 2007 All-Star Game right here on All In Television. First half. Welcome back to the Baltimore County, Baltimore City All-Star Game here at Powys Lumsden Scott Stadium. Chuck Harmon along with Tim Burke. And Tim, we're going to start off the second half here in the third quarter. The county kicking off to the city. What does the city have to do besides score points to get back in this game?
That's what they have to do is score points. But, both teams are playing well right now, Chuck. Grant, with the weather conditions the way they are, I know that looking over here at the screen, it doesn't look like it's half as bad as what we're looking at here on the field.
Kikola kicks the ball off. The ball, it's bouncing, it's fumbled in the air, rolling around the ground. I don't know who has it, Tim.
Looks like maybe the Baltimore County.
County's pointing that they have it, and they do. So the Baltimore County now recovers the ball on the 22-yard line. Turnovers. What a great start for the third quarter for the Baltimore County All-Stars.
Great start for Baltimore County, not such one for the city.
That could be a backbreaker if the county puts this ball in right now, because you have a chance. You're all pumped up now. You had that motivational speech at halftime. Let's win one for the Gipper. You're only down by 8. We're going to win this game. Let's do it for the city pride. And on the first play, they fumble it. Reminded me the third quarter yesterday in the Ravens game. It was really kind of similar to that, Tim. Here's an inside handoff to the county, number 44, Antonio Williams, but there's a flag on the play. He picks up about 4 yards. Down on the bottom of the pile for City is Garen Green Scott. Let's see what the call is. A hold against the county. So that'll be a 10-yard penalty and a repeat first down. Take the ball back just outside the 30-yard line. The 31. And again, penalties, you want to limit them to as many as you can, but again, on an all-star game, no matter what all-star game you see, Tim, there's a lot of fumbles and there's a lot of penalties. But fortunately for these kids, it hasn't rained that much since the beginning of the first quarter.
Yeah, but the ground's still wet.
Yes, it is, and it's foggy, but at least you don't have, as a quarterback, you don't have that rain beating down on you. LaBooth throws out to 84, and that's Baptist. He gets clogged up about the 28-yard line. 55. Eric Hill was the first to hit him out of Northwestern. And they're going to say he got 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 16 at the city 29-yard line. Again, that was the second time that the county tried that for very minimal yardage, but on a night like tonight, one slip,
and
he's out the game.
Exactly.
Yep. So that's
and this type of play too sets up other plays. For instance, a comeback wheel.
Yep. LeBeau in the shotgun formation. He looks left. Now he scrambles out to his left. He's going to run. Now he's going to pass, and it is caught, but down in the end zone for a touchdown. Baltimore County, number 10, and that is Dariq Taylor out of Randallstown. So you have a Parkville Knight throwing to a Randallstown Ram. 29 yards for a county touchdown.
It's just a great play by the quarterback, recognizing single coverage out there, rolling out, squaring up his shoulders, and making a great throw.
And how hard is it for a right-handed quarterback to roll out to his left and make a throw like that?
It's extremely hard, especially in a tight spot.
Well, Kevin Kikola, Patapsco to attempt the extra point. Asa Lebu to hold.
And we talked a little bit about it, Chuck. I am impressed with this Parkville quarterback tonight.
He's absolutely looked good. And here's the kick, and it's good. 13:32 to go here in the third quarter of the 2007 County City All-Star Game. The score, Baltimore County 21, Baltimore City 6. You're watching the City County All-Star Game here on AITV.
You know, Chuck, we talked about what can City do this half to put points on the board, and we talked a little bit about it at halftime. You know, what I'm seeing is they're not running the ball. They're not getting a lot of yards on the ground for one reason or another. You know, I think their advantage point here are these outside receivers. I think what you need to do if I'm the City coach is say, all right, how do we get single coverage from my outside receivers, and how do we put the ball up in the air? Because I think that is what's going to bring the City team back into this game.
You know, Tim, that's a great point that you made. If you look back to when we were talking about the Baltimore County kickoffs earlier, they were pooching and they kicked the ball out of bounds and all that stuff. They finally kicked the ball relatively deep, and look what happens. Mm-hmm. They get a fumble, and they get the ball back. So let's see what Kikola does here. And he tries to kick the ball deep. And he does, back to the 15-yard line. Is 33, and that's Henson Jr., and he's out to about the 22, 23-yard line. Hit initially by number 52, and that's Joe Coates out of Milford Mill. So City's going to take over. First and 10, just outside the 22-yard line, a 7-yard return. Great coverage that time by Baltimore County.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Baltimore County. And the coaches over there at Baltimore County have got their team prepared for this game.
They really do. They felt really good about coming in. You know, I talked to head coach Eric Woodson before the game and his offensive coordinator Anthony Knox, and they thought they could do a lot, but they were really impressed with the names. And Coach Knox coached the county for a lot of years at Randallstown and at Woodlawn, and he knows a lot of these kids. As a matter of fact, he made a mention to me that he saw a lot of these kids play prep football, and he knows what kind of kids these are. Here's a sack this time by Baltimore County. And you look at number 67 again for Baltimore County, Andrew Ewers, and we mentioned his name a lot. He's been out on 3 or 4 sacks tonight.
You know, Chuck, what the City did there was it looked like the quarterback was going to do a pump fake and then go over the top. But
there's not much time
to do pump fakes. Exactly. Maybe a 3-step, 5-step drop, get rid of the ball.
A loss of 5 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 15 at about the 17.5-yard line of the City. Back at a quarterback is number 7, Quentin Taylor out of Northwestern. He drops back, he throws over to the right, and he hangs one up. It could be intercepted, and it is. Number 2 takes it all the way back, and that is Trevon Winston for a Baltimore County touchdown. Unofficially 32 yards. 32 yards. It picked it off. I think it was on the 32. Timmy ran it back. That is a backbreaker for the City because now it could be a 28-6 game. Mm-hmm. And 2 minutes and 30 seconds here in the third quarter. 14 points on the board for the county.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a little bit more interesting here. See what the City can put together here. These final. Well,
let's say potential 14 points for the county. He hasn't made the extra point yet, and nothing is a guarantee in high school football, Tim. LeBou's going to hold. Kevin Kikola to attempt the extra point out of Patapsco. The snap, the set, and the kick is good. 12 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The score, Baltimore County 28 and Baltimore City 6. You're watching the All-Star Game here on AITV.
defense is probably a little bit more ahead of the offense in these types of situations, like the All-Star games, and even like the first, second game of the season.
And you hate to say that, don't you, Tammy? It kills you to say that. Well, Chris Hardy out of Merville back at a quarterback. And he rolls out of bounds, incomplete. The pass is intended for number 8, Maurice Washington III. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 at the 28. Well, that's what they got to do, Tim. The city right now down by 22 points. They're going to have to roll out. They're going to have to take chances. They're going to have to go for the big play. You're getting to the point now where all the momentum is against you. You've got to try to change the momentum, and nothing would help the old momentum get back on the city side as a nice long touchdown pass down the sideline. Second and 10. Here's Hardy. Inside handoff that time to 48, and what a pop that time. Michael Pettigrew just got popped by Ewers again.
He came up and made a pretty big hit there. I could hear from here, Chuck.
Well, if we had a defensive MVP of the game, it would be Ewers out of Parkville. My goodness. Andrew Ewers, 6'2", 240, and he's been on at least 8 or 9 tackles so far tonight, and that was an hellacious hit. 3rd down and 8 at the 30-yard line.
I like that, hellacious.
Hellacious, Tim.
Hellacious. Hellacious.
With an H. It would be illacious if we were over in Spain. Illacious. Here's Hardy, rolls out to his left, throws across, and it's intercepted by Winston again at the 42. Across the 35, down to the 30. Rips away, and he fumbles the football. Who's got it? Baltimore County recovers. Let's see who got it. Number 77 for the county. And that's Patrick Gilreath of Western Tech. That's Winston's second interception in the game.
It's unfortunate, that you play. Give it to Baltimore County. They played that play well, but unfortunately for the quarterback there for City, his receiver fell down, slipped.
Yep.
There's not much you can do about that. You put the ball right there, and things like that happen. Unfortunately, tonight it's been happening a little bit more for City than it has for County.
Well, the game's not over yet, Tim. I mean, and in the first quarter, Baltimore County had all the fumbles and the mistakes. So for the first time tonight, at least for a long time, we see Rashad Cromer in the backfield for Baltimore County out of Western Tech. And at quarterback is Fuller. Here's Cromer. Goes around the left side. He doesn't get anything. He might have lost a couple yards. Tackled initially by number 34, Andrew Leake. Andrew Leake out of Samuel Banks High School.
We've seen a lot today is the Baltimore County offense coming out in shotgun and doing some different things. That's something that I haven't seen in past years.
No, the county's been a little more 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, and you know what it does too. I mean, you got it now. As if you're on the City side, but now you have to look for pass and run. 2nd and
11 at the 34-yard line. Back in shotgun formation, the aforementioned shotgun formation from Timothy P. Burke. There goes Fuller inside the 25, down to about the 21-yard line.
Again, sometimes
tackled by 55 for the City, and that's Eric Hill out of Northwestern. Go ahead, Tim.
When we look at this and you're in shotgun, sometimes being in shotgun makes your run more effective because of the threat of being able to throw the ball from that formation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Baltimore County's done a good job running out of the shotgun tonight.
Well, they've been setting their plays up well, and when you have a guy that can scramble like a Corey Fuller can, you basically got to play everybody honest, and it's going to help the passing game and the running game. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of City. Fuller back in shotgun formation. He looks left. Now he's going to throw. He's got a man open. It is intercepted by number 81, Ryan Singletary out of Forest Park. He picks it off on the 2-yard line and gets it back to about the 6-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. Now I guess it's going to be around the 4-yard line.
He made a fantastic play on a good call, on a really good call. I like the call down there. I think it was open, but the defensive guy came up, number 81 came up, and made a great play on the ball.
He made a break on the ball and made an athletic, as we say, an athletic play. You teach that with your defensive backs all the time. Catch the ball at the highest point, and that's exactly what he did.
And, we talked about that, about the county coming out and possibly doing a wheel on that side, and that's exactly what they did. I thought the play was there, and it was a little bit underthrown.
I think the Baltimore County coaching staff has done an excellent job with mixing their plays up.
Without a doubt.
So here's a tough situation for the city. 1st and 10 at the 3. Inside handoff and run right into big number 71, John Belt out of Towson. 6'3", 310, Tim. You didn't have guys that big blocking you.
I did.
You did? You had
that
big Dorsey kid, right?
I had a couple big kids.
But I don't think he was 310.
No, we had some kids in the 3s.
But I bet they didn't run over a 540, did they?
I don't know how fast they were.
Did they time him with a sundial, Tim?
It doesn't really matter because they timed me with a sundial back then.
Well, that's okay because all you did was throw the ball, Tim. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at just outside the 4. Back in I formation. Inside handoff. And that looks like it's another fumble. Let's see if it's down or not. I think it was Cottrell in the carry. And I think he's hurt. He's down on the field. He's hurt. And Tim, there's hellacious hitting, but we're going to take a timeout right now. 8 minutes, 39 seconds to go here in the third quarter of the score. Baltimore County 28, Baltimore City 6. You're watching the 2007 All-Star Game right here on All In Television. Correction, the injured player for City was Michael Pettigrew, the 5'8", 170-pound running back out of Samuel Banks. He was the injured player going off the field.
And you hate to see that in a game like this.
You really do. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, but especially in an all-star game. He was down on the field for a significant amount of time. 3rd and 6 at the 12-yard line. City was very fortunate that they got that ball back. Let's see what Hardy can do. Here's the pass across the middle. It's complete. Across the 25 up to about the 26-yard line to number 1, Carlos Smith of Forest Park. Brought down by Savage, Tony Savage of Newtown.
And I tell you, that was a fantastic throw, Chuck.
Yep, a gain of 14 and a good for a City first down, and that's exactly what they needed right there.
You're right. And we were talking about how well the county's been able to call plays. City's done a pretty good job, the coaching staff of the City's calling plays, too.
Right.
They're just not getting their guys open quick enough or, being able to protect the quarterback. But that was in a very good throw.
Here's a handoff again, and then hitting the backfield was number 42, Quentin Shaw out of Walbrook. Big number 75 for the county, was the first on the scene. Jimmy Butner out of Patapsco. So it's a 2nd and a long 11, let's call it 12 at the 25-yard line. And how many times have you seen that tonight? The county guy in the backfield before he could even get the ball almost. 2nd and 12 at the 25 for Chris Hardy and the Baltimore City All-Star team. Shotgun formation. Here's Hardy looking to throw. He throws the ball deep. And it's incomplete. A great play that time by Tony Savage of Newtown. Again, a tremendous cover corner. Baltimore County's best cover corner. A perfectly thrown pass to Carlos Smith. That was just a great defensive play by Tony Savage.
You couldn't have put the ball any better than that throw there, Chuck. I'd have to look at the replay to find out how, what the coverage was. Was there a hand in there? Did he hit the ball away?
He reached up and knocked the ball away at the last minute. And you understand, Savage is 5'10", 170. Carlos Smith is 6'6", 197.
Yeah, but
he's given up 8 inches. 8 inches, that's a lot.
But that's what you need to do if you're City. You need to take those shots downfield like that on the outside to your big guy.
3rd and 12 at the 25-yard line. Again, Chris Hardy back in shotgun formation. Now he looks. He's going to step up. He doesn't have much time, and he's going to go down again. Butner gets him again. Out of Patapsco. He loses close to 10 yards on the play. Matter of fact, he does lose 10 yards. Now it's going to be 4th and a long 20. And now they're going to have to punt from the end zone. Now, you can't put a punt block on in these All-Star games, Tim, but nonetheless.
Hey, you never know what could happen. The ball gets snapped over somebody's head.
Winston is a game breaker, the kid out of Loch Raven, and I tell you something, he's back on the 45-yard line. He gets a good running start on this. He could take it back again. And you see this in All-Star games. You're waiting for replacements to get in. A guy goes down. Nobody knows that they're on the punt team, and they better hurry and get this away, and they do. And a punt is blocked again. The second punt that's blocked. Jumped up and recovered by number 67, Andrew Ewers again. In on the play, and Baltimore County is going to take over in primo field condition. Right,
and we talked about earlier.
On the 10-yard line.
How important are special teams? Well, pretty important so far in this game. This has been, how many block kicks have we had today?
That's 2 punts that have been blocked by the county.
That's 2 punts, and then an onside kick that was recovered.
Well, it's going to take a tremendous defensive stand right here for City, and they got to do something because another touchdown here would just about do it here. It's going to be very hard for a team to come back from 29 points down midway through the third quarter. It can be done, Tim, but very difficult. First and goal at the 10. LeBou in a quarterback for the county. Handoff to 34. And that's Kwame Jackson of Lansdowne. He gets down to about the 6-yard line. Hit initially by number 44, Garen Green Scott out of Mervo. Second and goal at the 6. Tim, that was a very strong running play that time. They got in the hole quickly, but the City's defense, where they're really strong, I think, is at linebacker, and they really covered it quickly and prevented maybe a touchdown.
Both sides, both the City and county, the running backs have been hitting in holes fast and quick.
There's speed on both sides of the ball, and there's a timeout on the field. Let's see what delay of game.
And we talk about, Chuck, how a lot of running backs, especially at the high school level, they dance around, they juke around. I had not seen that tonight.
No.
I mean, going right for the hole, hitting the hole. And that's, for both sides of the ball, not to see that in a high school game is impressive.
Yep.
It says something. Somebody's being taught right. Somebody's being coached right.
That says a lot for the coaches here in this game. And it says a lot for the high school coaches at the respective schools.
That's exactly right.
These kids have learned. They've learned from the Pop Warner leagues, any leagues that they played. A lot of these kids have played in some of the top leagues in the city and the county growing up as kids, and they've had excellent high school coaches, and it shows that they're the best of the county right now. Second and goal now at the 4-yard line. Here's it in around to 85, and he's going to walk in for a touchdown. It looked like he was going to walk in. He made a great play. That's 85. Derek Flickling out of Randallstown. 4 yards for a Baltimore County touchdown.
Well, when it first developed, Chuck, there was nobody there.
Did you see the speed?
Somebody came up fast.
Yep.
It looked like maybe he was just trotting around there. It was an easy touchdown.
So Derek Flickling shows off his speed. It was I thought it was an excellent offensive call that time by Rich Stickle and his staff. And I tell you, they are really showing all signs tonight. Kevin Kikola for the extra point, and it's good. 5 minutes, 1 second to go here in the third quarter. The score, the Baltimore County All-Stars 35 and the Baltimore City All-Stars 6. You're watching the City County All-Star game here on AI TV.
Chuck, we talked
35-6 here at Poly High School. Lumsden Scott Field. Beautiful surface, beautiful facility here at Poly. Probably the nicest facility in Baltimore City. Kicking off is Kevin Kikola out of Patapsco. And his kick is going to go all the way down to about the 15-yard line and a fumble. Number 33, James Henson Jr. out of Digital Harbor, ran it back to the 30-yard line. So almost another disaster that time for the city, but fortunately Henson Jr. came up, made a good pickup and got about 16 yards on the recovery and saved the city a lot of heart at that time.
I'd like to see him be able to get a clean catch on that thing and see what he's got, because he does look quick. I was looking at him prior to the game, and he's got some speed.
Well, he's not a big guy. He's 5'7", 160, but
it seems like those small guys. Look at Maurice Jones-Drew, right?
Yep.
The smallest guy in the NFL.
They can scoot. Chris Hardy back in at quarterback. He drops back. Now he's got a scramble. He rolls out, throws the ball across the middle, and it is knocked away again by Winston. Intended for number 22, Anthony Moore of Du Bois. And Winston is Johnny on the spot again.
And I think the play was good. I think what the quarterback needs to do here is he needs to do a 3-step drop back and let go of the ball now and not wait.
Yep. Well, one thing that Baltimore County's really impressed me on, Tim, is their ability to cover the pass tonight. And in these All-Star games, a lot of times you'll get guys out of position. Guys will try to do a little more that they can do. They're trying to show off their skills. They get caught up into the play. They get sucked in by double moves.
There's so many things that can happen.
Right. And on a wet turf, you haven't seen it. They haven't fallen down. They've really played a good, solid game on defense tonight.
But again, I think it was a good call. I think that, after this possession, the coach sits down with this quarterback and says, you know what, let's do a 3-step drop back and let's the ball fly. Because that play was open over there on that right-hand side.
Yep. Well, it's so hard for high school quarterbacks to not only to complete a pass, but to hit their progressions.
Yeah, and I understand. And, it is an all-star game, but...
And he's been under a lot of pressure, and here's a pass out to the right, overthrown, intended for Anthony Moore. Winston and number 24, Ryan Mays of Franklin, were there. Great, just blanket coverage at that time, doing a great job. And it doesn't matter who Rich Stitchell puts back in.
Yeah, but both quarterbacks on the city, they both have arms. They both have good arms. They can get the ball down there, And that's why I say, do a 3 to 5, step up, and just let the ball go.
Right.
They're going to get it down. They can throw 50, 60 yards. For what I see, they can throw the ball 50, 60 yards. And that's all you need to do.
Well, you got to also understand that there's a lot of talent in Baltimore County and the city that aren't even here.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
I mean, you've got Hereford, Perry Hall, Eastern Tech, and Catonsville that aren't even represented in this game, and you've got Dunbar and Edmondson, the two best teams in the city, that aren't here right now. So it would make a big difference. It would probably even it out a little bit. Goes down again on a sack by number 77, Patrick Gilreath of Western Tech. We don't have the statistics here, but I could tell you that's got to be at least 6 or 7 sacks tonight on the city quarterbacks.
They have been hit.
So
no question about that.
So 4th and 13 right now, Tim, and you're down by...
You got to punt the ball. You got to get the ball out of there.
Yeah, you got to punt it.
We do talk about, well, maybe they should do this or maybe they should do that. But you know what? Really, realistically, maybe they don't have that call coming into the game. Maybe they don't have that play in their arsenal, right?
You just got to tell Kashif Williams to kick it as far as you can, son. Let's get it on the other side of the 50, and let's hope for the best. Let's get out of here. But Baltimore County stems to get another good cover. Nice spiral that time. Down to the 35-yard line to Rashad Cromer. Cromer breaks it up the middle. He could go. He's tackled down at the 25-yard line. A great run that time by Rashad Cromer of Western Tech.
You talk about explosive.
Wow. 35 yards on the return, and you talk about turning on the Jets that time. He broke 2 tackles. If it wasn't for an excellent tackle on the 25-yard line, it could have been 6 more points, Tim.
No question about that. That was a great play. And then resulted, what was that, about 40, 50 yards there?
Mm-hmm. And you got to give Kashif Williams all the credit in the world. I mean, he got off a 37-yard punt that time with a perfect spiral and gave the city what they needed. However, he outkicked his coverage.
And it's city ball. A fumble.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sitting there looking at you, and I don't see what's going on at the field.
He fumbled the ball, and City gets it back. I didn't even see that. We're sorry about that, folks. Well, good news for City. They got the ball at the 25-yard line. Here's Hardy back in shotgun formation. He's looking to throw. Now he's going to run. He's got a wide open field if he chooses to. Now he's going to throw across the middle, and it's almost intercepted by number 33. Rashad Cromer, the man who ran it back and just fumbled it, he kind of redeems himself a little bit.
I got to tell you, though, a good play by City. A good play by the quarterback, getting out, squaring up his shoulders. It made a good throw. It just happened to be a better defensive play.
But what he didn't see, streaking down the sideline, was number 11, Justin Jiggets out of Digital Harbor, was wide open.
The right side?
Down the left side, wide open. But to make a throw like that would have been 50 yards off his front foot. It would have been a very difficult throw. And I don't think that Hardy saw him, because if he did, there was nobody within 20 yards of Jiggets. 2nd and 10 at the 25. Here's Hardy. Looks to throw. He's going to throw down the right sideline. And it's intercepted. Let's see. No! What is it? Incomplete. Almost intercepted again by Winston.
But again, I mean, it was a good read by the quarterback. I think
the ball was a little underthrown that time.
It was underthrown, and that's why I say, you know what? Step back, go a 3-step instead of a 5-step drop back.
And throw the ball as high as you can.
And throw the ball as high as far as you can. Because your receivers are going to come out with the ball. They're big receivers.
Well, they're big receivers, but these little cornerbacks from the county have matched them stride for stride and have jumped up and taken the ball away from the city receivers.
You're exactly right.
Because they're catching the ball at the highest point.
Make no mistake about it. The corners of Baltimore County have done an excellent job containing these big receivers on City.
3rd and 10 at the 25-yard line. Here's Hardy. Fakes the handoff. Now he might run. He's going to throw the ball off his front foot, and it's incomplete. Intended for number 10, Clifford Pickford Jr. out of Digital Harbor High School. And now it's 4th down, and literally City in 2 consecutive possessions didn't gain a yard.
But, on the positive side, I felt like those 2 drives is obviously they didn't get a yard. You have to bring out something good, right? You got to say something good.
Yes.
The good side that I see there is that the quarterback was able to locate some of the receivers on that play. For a quarterback in high school and college or in the NFL, it's all mental. There's so much that's mental. And one of the things, these coaches say, look, I can deal with mistakes like a misthrown ball. It's the mental thing that I'm more concerned about.
Kashif Williams back in punt formation. Michael Baptist is deep. And Kashif gets off a pretty nice kick. Baptist fumbles the ball at the 45. It's recovered by the City at the 45-yard line. In 2 consecutive possessions now, Baltimore County would have had excellent field position, and 2 consecutive punt returners fumble the ball, and now City stays alive. They've been given 2 consecutive gifts, and now they're back on the field again, this time in Baltimore County, and they're in Baltimore County side of the field on the 45-yard line.
It's a game of turnovers tonight.
Wow. Well, Tim, I got to say, you can't blame that one on the elements that time. He did not protect the ball well at all. He should have wrapped that ball up. It took the hit. An excellent play that time by Baltimore City.
One of the toughest positions in football is catching punts.
And especially in the fog. But that ball wasn't as high as the other couple have been. Here's Hardy down the sideline, and it's caught by number 22 of the City. And that's Anthony Moore out of Du Bois, tackled by number 23, Chris Duval-Smith of Overly. Gets the ball down to the 27-yard line. A gain of 18 yards, so the City is moving now. 1st and 10 at the county 27-yard line. And I tell you, I'd still work the middle of that field, Tim. I'd work the out patterns, I'd work the middle, and hopefully they break a tackle, and they've got athletic receivers here, and that's what you got to do. Here's Hardy, hands the ball off, up the middle to number 34, Andrew Leak of Samuel Banks,
Chuck,
he doesn't get much.
I think at this point of the game, I think it's probably a little bit out of reach for City. And I think at this point, you got to go ahead and you got to start putting all your guys in and start running plays so not just one person's being showcased,
Big Josh Belt, all 315 pounds of him, Tim. If I'm the City, I'm not running up the middle. I mean, you've got two 300-pound behemoths right in the middle, and Joe Coates to fill the lane. I gotta get to the outside against the County. Even though they do pursue well, you got to hit them not up the middle. And there again, they try up the middle, gets a couple yards that time, and Belt again on the tackle, along with number 65 for the County, Joseph Harrison out of Woodlawn.
You cannot say enough about Baltimore County's defense.
Yeah, they look good.
I don't know. The defensive coach over there has done a great job in preparing these kids for this game because, as we know, City has some pretty good ball players on that side of the ball.
You got to give a lot of kudos to Phil Blackwell, the defensive coordinator and assistant coach at Overly. He's done a great job with his Baltimore County defense. But it's 3rd and 3 now at the 20-yard line. Here's Hardy again. He's going to roll out to the right this time, and he's going to throw, and it's almost picked off again. And guess who that was, Tim? Number 2. Always there. Trayvon Winston out of Loch Raven High School almost picked it off and was out the gate for 78 that time.
A good decision by the quarterback. The play was there, which is a little underthrown.
Well, I don't know about the good decision.
The play was there. The play was there. He made a good decision.
It was even a better play by the defense.
It was a good play by the defense.
Right.
But again, we take some positives out of this and say, you know what, it was a good read.
Well, they're going to go for it. It's 4th and 3 at the 20. There's 1 minute to go here. 35-6, Baltimore County on top of the City. And the City's got to do something here. Here's Hardy. Drops back, 3-step drop. He fumbles the ball. He recovers it, but to no avail. They're going to lose 6 yards, and Baltimore County's going to take over. That's just the way it's been going for City all night. He gets bumped by his own player. He gets the offensive line got blown up, and the offensive tackle literally knocked the ball right out of the quarterback's hand that time, Tim.
And that's tough, and that's what they teach you. You go back, when you drop back, you have two hands on the ball. It's not always the case, though, right?
Well, not a wet ball at that.
No, yeah.
He's trying to make a play happen. He's looking downfield. He can't be concerned with one of his linemen bumps into him, but that's football, Tim. It happens all the time. But unfortunately for the City, it happened at the worst possible time. Well, the County's going to take over 1st and 10, throwing 26-yard line. Corey Fuller of Woodlawn is back in at quarterback. Back in an I formation. Here's an inside handoff to 34 for the County, and that's Kwame Jackson of Lansdowne. He might have gained 1, maybe 2 yards, up to about the 28-yard line. 44. Garen Green Scott of Mervo was one of a couple guys in on the tackle. I'm really impressed with the City linebackers on defense. They've got a lot of speed. They make up a lot of ground. But Baltimore County, let's face it, has dominated this game in every phase of the game. If it wasn't for a couple fumbles that they've made here in the third quarter, the score would be a lot worse than it is now. This will be could be the final play here in the third quarter, under 10 seconds now. Here's Fuller. He's going to roll out, and he's got room to run, and he's going to take off across the 30, pulled down at about the 31-yard line.
We talked a little bit about a little earlier when the last play when the quarterback from City had the ball knocked out of his hands, where there's an example there where you're carrying a ball like a loaf of bread, and you don't want to do that. Not tonight, you don't.
Well, that's going to do it for the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, the score, the Baltimore County All-Stars 35, the Baltimore City All-Stars 6. You're watching the Baltimore County Baltimore City All-Star game here on AITV. We're back to start the fourth quarter. Third down and about 5, a long 4 for the County. Here's Fuller back in the shotgun. He wants to throw. He does throw. Across the middle, and it's complete. Up across the 40, down to about the 43-yard line is Ricky Edwards, the tight end out of Milford Mill, number 83. He gets a first down for Baltimore County, a clutch first down, and Baltimore County has really looked good in that passing situation.
And you know what, Chuck? One of the reasons why I think that they look good is because the quarterback's able to get rid of the ball now.
Yep.
It's a 3-step and the ball's out of his hands. when you hold on to the ball a little bit longer, especially for the vertical routes, it makes it a lot harder to get that ball into your receiver's hands. And the throws, to be quite honest, are tougher.
Fuller back in the shotgun formation. He looks to throw. Inside handoff to Green of Franklin. He gets down across the 45 up to about the 47-yard line. Tackled by number 62 for City, Derek Purvey out of Mervo. Picks up close to 6 yards on the play. Let's call it 5.
You know, getting back to what we're talking about as far as getting the ball out of your hands, Chuck. When all 4 quarterbacks here that we've seen tonight can play football. It's obvious they're all pretty good athletes. You know, if they decide to go into college and play college football, they're going to have something where, every college quarterback goes through, and that's, hey, you have 3 seconds to get rid of the ball. You have 5 seconds to get rid of the ball.
We're going to take a quick timeout. There's an injury timeout. Baltimore County calls timeout. We're going to be back in 30 seconds. You're watching the Baltimore County, Baltimore City All-Star Game here on AITV. We're back here, 10 minutes, 59 seconds to go in the game. 35-6 Baltimore County over the City. 2nd and 5 at the 47-yard line. Fuller out of the shotgun. Now he's going to throw the ball out on a slant pattern to number 10, Taylor. Taylor down the sideline. He goes. Oh, what a great move that time by Taylor. Looked like he went out of bounds. Finally tackled out by the City's number 24, Kevin Brown out of Samuel Banks. What a great stutter step move that was to get the ball all the way down to about the 32-yard line. What a super move that time by the Randallstown flanker back.
Well, I tell you, that's an example of the offense having a little bit more, on a wet field like this, they have a little bit more, advantage. He stops and the defender goes right past him. He's able to cut up, but a great move nonetheless.
Yep. Darius Taylor, 5'9", 175 pounds. You look at him, he's not a big kid, but he's got strong legs and great quick feet. He's now in the backfield. He's an all-purpose guy. Here's Taylor again. Across the 35, breaks a tackle. Now he's bowled over by number 10, Clifford Pigford Jr. out of Digital Harbor. But he's going to pick up about 5 yards.
We've been talking about a lot of different players, both on the county and city side. But, everybody needs to know that these are the top-quality kids from both the city side and the county side. All these kids are probably the best on their football and their representative football team.
Yep. 2nd and a long 5, just outside the 28-yard line. The city's going to go. The county's going to go twins left. Fuller, inside handoff to number 44, Antonio Williams of Chesapeake. He's going to lose a little bit. As a matter of fact, he'll lose about 2 yards on the play. Great pursuit that time for the City. Number 61, Derek Nelson out of Digital Harbor. Really pursued it well and blew that hole up. And it's really making it a difficult 3rd and 8 now for the county. But the county's been resourceful tonight, Tim.
In all aspects of the game, like you said earlier.
What you want to do is you want to keep this ball on the ground as much as possible. But on a 3rd and 8, you look like you're going to have to throw it to get a first down here. But all the county cares about now is what's going to happen in the next 8 minutes and 55 seconds of this game. They just want to kill this clock and go home. There's a pass out to the 30-yard line. He cuts it back in, and he almost breaks the tackle. Nice shoestring tackle that time by number 62, Derek Purvey of Mervo. That pass was completed to number 81, Sylvester Washington of Pikesville. It looked like he was going to break it, but he couldn't quite get away from Purvey. So now it's going to bring up a 4th and 6 at the 28.
I think at this point you go and you kick the field goal.
Well, you're looking at a 45-yard field goal attempt on a wet field, Tim, with a wet ball.
Yeah, but the score's 35-6. At
you
this
go
point,
for it, man.
8 minutes left. Look, I'm all about going for it. Trust me, but
believe me, if any kicker with a salt wants to do it, but something like this, you go for it. You just keep the ball on the ground. If you make it, great. If you don't, you're still up by 29 points. They're in the I formation. Fakes the end around. There's a little screen pass out in the flat, incomplete. intended for number 34, Kwame Jackson of Lansdowne. And Tim, he was wide open.
He was, but you kind of go back. It's about, look, we're in the All-Star game. It's about showcasing all your players.
Right.
Line the kid up and let him try to kick the field goal.
You know, Tim,
all these years, kids, right? It's all about the kids.
All these years of doing games with you, Tim, and you couldn't give a rat's patoot about kickers. And this is the second time tonight you've been talking about, let's give the kicker a shot. Let's let the kicker do it. I can't believe I'm even hearing that out of you. That's unbelievable, bro.
Look, look at the score. It's different,
Tim Burke putting a call out for the kickers tonight. Unbelievable. It's always quarterback. Kickers get no love, but Tim Burke is sure showing them a lot of love tonight. We got a new quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks in there right now, number 12 in Mervo, and that's Kashif Williams. He's going to get a little turn at quarterback.
And
he hands off to number 33, and that's James Henson Jr. out of Harbor. And he gets pretty good yardage across the 35 up to about the. Well, let's see where they spot the ball now. Maybe not even that far. Close to the 34-yard line. He gets about 4.5, 5 yards on the play.
Well, I was watching him warm up on the sidelines, and he's got a gun.
Well, he's the do-it-all guy. He's a kicker and a punter, and that was his primary position. But you know what? When you're down by 29 points, why not give the kid a shot?
Yeah, absolutely.
5'11", 165. Out of Forest Park, the do-it-all guy for the Foresters and Coach Obi Barnes. Here's Williams, drops back. He's going to throw long, a nice throw, up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Intended for Carlos Smith, his teammate in high school at Forest Park. And it looks like that Carlos Smith, they underthrew it. But, Tim, that's a play where it's definitely in the wide receiver's advantage.
Have you seen more plays? Have you, watching the NFL, watch these quarterbacks and receivers? They actually have plays designed like that where you underthrow your receiver.
Yep.
He comes back to the ball, and he's off and running.
But, again,
number
sure one,
that play
Tony Savage, step for step, with Carlos Smith the whole way down. There wasn't any more than a foot difference between those kids all the way down. Great coverage that time, but it looked as though that Carlos Smith maybe could have made an adjustment and brought that in. That was certainly a catchable football. Here's Williams, going to throw a ball across the middle, and he almost has Justin Jiggets out of Digital Harbor going across the middle. I don't think that was the intended receiver, Tim.
I tell you this, it was a great read.
Yeah,
and I think he put the ball there.
I think he wanted to hit Maurice Washington, number 8. But Jiggets almost pulled it down.
It looked like maybe he wasn't expecting the pass.
No. So it's 4th and 6 now from the 30, just outside the 33-yard line. And it looks like they're going to punt the football. So Williams back in punt formation. And deep for the county is number 33, Rashad Cromer of Western Tech. And the ball's going to die at about the 38, 39-yard line. And Baltimore County will have it 1st and 10 at that spot. Well, at least the county didn't fumble that ball, and they just let it go. And now they can maybe grind some clock out. And if I'm running this offense, I'm just grinding the ball, running the ball, and eating up the 7 minutes and 24 seconds of this clock. And sometimes, Tim, this last quarter can drag on and on and on.
It can. But again, you're out here trying to showcase a lot of different athletes, and this is again, fourth quarter score like that. Put your guys in. We talked about earlier, there's kids here that want to go out and play college football at this point. May have not got picked up by a school. Well, now's the time to show what you have.
We'd also like to thank the County Athletic Director, Ron Belinko, and the City Athletic Director, Bob Wade, for their assistance in this football game. We really appreciate the work that they've done to try to organize this game, and hopefully we'll be a part of this for a long time in the future. That was 34 for the county. Kwame Jackson picked up about 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6 at just outside the 43-yard line. Ian Sedon's in the backfield. We haven't seen him for a while. Tim got 2 touchdowns in the first half. And he gets the handoff, goes right up the middle, busts it across the 50, broke about 3 tackles that time, and he gets first down yardage right at the 50-yard line.
He's been running the ball well all night long.
Yes, he has. And the best part of that, Tim, as soon as they get these chains set, the clock keeps rolling. 6:35 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Chuck, you trying to get out of here quicker?
Well, we've got DVDs to sell tonight, Tim. And it sure is raining, but, you just want, if you're the county, you just want to grind it out. If you're the city, you want the ball back again. And here's Sedon again, bounces off the right side, up the middle, across the 45, thrown back, hit that time by number 62, Derek Purvey of Mervo.
We're giving a lot of credit to some of the running backs, and we're saying they're hitting the holes well and so forth. Give credit to the offensive line on Baltimore County.
Yep, the offensive line.
They've been opening up a lot of holes tonight.
Dale Strother out of Newtown is doing a great job. You're looking at Rob Sauer out of Kenwood, Josh Belt out of Towson, Jimmy Butner out of Patapsco. They're the hosses up front for the county, and they've been doing a great job all night. That's a good point, Tim. 2nd and 5 at the 45 of the city. In motion comes 34. Kwame Jackson lands down, tries to break it around the left, and he does, across the 40, down to about the 36-yard line. Tackled by number 44, Garen Grease Scott of Mervo. He picks up about 16 yards, about 14 yards, Tim, and a first down for Baltimore County. And to keep that clock moving, 5 minutes and 25 seconds and counting. And that's exactly what Coach Rich Stitchell and his staff of Baltimore County want to see right now. They want to just grind this clock out and go home with a convincing 35-6 victory. And if they can score again, that's great too. They wouldn't mind that, I'm sure. 1st and 10, Baltimore County at the city, 36-yard line. Cromer back in the backfield now. And he gets the handoff across the 30, breaks a tackle down to about the 28-yard line.
And again, the offensive line opened up holes for the running backs in Baltimore County, doing a great job.
Dean Chu made a saving tackle that time for Mervo. If not, Cromer might have been all the way. Cromer looks like he's got outstanding starting burst. Guy that can really get through the line quickly.
Well, when your offensive line's having a good game is when your linebackers and your safeties are doing, have all the tackles on.
That's right. LeBou back in shotgun formation, hands the ball off to Cromer again. No, he does. He fakes it. LeBou, he breaks another tackle, gets down to about the 26-yard line. A nice hard hit that time by number 10 of the city, Clifford Pickford Jr. Also in on the tackle was Ryan Singletary out of Forest Park, and LeBou looks like he's hurt. He broke a couple tackles, but he just got crunched down about the 26-yard line, about a yard away from the first down. Stops the clock with 3 minutes and 57 seconds to go, Tim. And again, another injured player on the field, and you hate to see that happen, but unfortunately this is football, and you'll see this from time to time.
Now, the most important part now, you're 4 minutes left in the game. Try to get everybody out healthy. There's been, one injury, and that's the second injury of the night.
Right.
But, all around, it's been pretty good. That didn't look too serious.
Well, we're going to come back and talk about this in a minute. 3 minutes, 57 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. The score, Baltimore County 35, Baltimore City 6. You're watching the County City All-Star Game here on AI TV. We're back. 3 minutes, 57 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. 35-6, the county on top. LeBouf is walking off very gingerly. It looks like an ankle. And, you have such a great game all game, and to get hurt in the last 4 minutes of the game is pretty tough. But they're going to bring back Fuller as the quarterback now to finish out the game. 3rd and 1 at the 27-yard line right now. Full house backfield. Actually, it's going to be an I backfield. The handoff to number 22 to the county, and that's Dominic Stames of Chesapeake, and he gets across the 25 to the 24, and that's going to be good for another county first down. Keeps the clock moving with 3 minutes, 33 seconds, and counting to go. So technically right now the county can just run out the clock now in these next 4 plays if they're fortunate enough to get another first down, that'll just about do it. And then maybe, Tim, if it gets to fourth down, maybe they can kick a field goal.
You think so?
I don't know. That might be rubbing it in a little bit.
You know, I mean,
I don't know. We'll see.
About 35 yards at this point.
We'll see.
40 yards.
They're doing the right thing. They're taking their time. They're just using all the clock they can. Fuller's looking it over. He's taking and he's doing a smart thing now. Back in the shotgun formation. Here's the fake handoff. Fuller's going to run the ball. He's across the 20, the 15, down to about the 12-yard line. Tackled by number 65 of the city, and that's Dana Kennedy out of Southwestern. Picks up significant yardage that time, about 13, 14 yards, and it's going to be 1st and 10. They spotted at the 11 with 2:54, and the clock will be started here relatively shortly.
And one thing you can say about all the quarterbacks that played in this game is their ability to move around,
yes,
not only in the pocket, outside the pocket, and, you know, they're fast.
Right. And there's really no sense for the city to stop the clock here. I mean, I'm sure they just want to get off the field as well, although I'm sure they'd like to stop them on this drive here. 1st and 10 at the 11. And there's a timeout. And it's just as we said, City wasn't going to call a timeout. They do. Well, we're going to take a quick break, too. 2 minutes, 37 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. The score, Baltimore County 35, Baltimore City 6. You're watching the 2007 All-Star Game here on AITV. Welcome back to the City County All-Star Game. Chuck Harmon, Tim Burke here. Giving the action here from Poly High School. Back in the shotgun formation, 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Here's Fuller. He's going to drop back. Now he's going to scramble. He's looking for somewhere to go. He can't find any, and he's going to lose some yards. Nice play that time by the city, and it's going to lose about 8 or 9 yards. They're going to spot him at the 19-yard line.
It looked like they were setting up a screen there.
Derek Purvey, again, we've called his name a lot here in the fourth quarter, in on that sack of Corey Fuller.
And City did a good job both of getting to the quarterback on that play and also covering the screen because it wasn't there.
2 minutes, 5 seconds and counting here in the fourth quarter. And, you know, Tim, it's been another fun All-Star game we've done. We've done a few now, and it's always great to do high school football here in the Mid-Atlantic region. And, you know, we're offering the folks here tonight something a little different that has never been seen before on a high school level. You get to meet and greet these players before the game and get to see their faces, and I think it's awful special to be able to give to these kids, and we're just happy that Sean O'Connor and his crew could provide that courtesy of AITV tonight. Here's Fuller on the scramble, inside the 10, out of bounds, inside the 5, maybe the 4-yard line.
You know, and another nice thing.
They're going to run the clock. The clock's still going, so first, Tim, it's going to be 3rd and goal. Well, 3rd and about 4 yards at the 4-yard line. Go ahead, Tim.
And another nice thing about, you know, these types of all-star games, it gives the athlete one last chance to get recognized by some colleges. And as I look out into the crowd, and we've had a few come through the booth, there are college scouts here, and good college scouts.
Well, Bob Wade and Ron Belenko have just walked out and given some awards to some players. And the MVPs of tonight's game from Baltimore County, number 43, Ian Sedan of Parkville, the running back with 2 touchdowns. And the MVP for the city is number 81, Ryan Singletary of Forest Park. Congratulations to both of those, the respective city and county athletic directors, supervisors. Bob Wade and of the city and Ron Belenko of the county have made their presentations on the field, which I think is a nice little touch.
Yeah, it's something a little different, something that I've never seen before.
I've never seen that before either, I can honestly say. So I guess, you know, they want to get out of here as quickly as they can, too.
maybe even quicker than you, Chuck. Yeah, Ron Blanco's running down the sideline in mid-play, you know.
Yeah, they
tossing out medals or whatever.
They got the meters running, so to speak. 47 seconds and counting here. Here's the handoff, inside handoff to number 10, Derek Taylor. What a cutback and a touchdown for the County, 4 yards. And now the County goes up 41-6. Wow, that was impressive, Tim. Woo, there's a couple jocks on the field right there, boy.
Well, you know what? We may have to reconsider the MVP. Maybe the next time Ron Blanco will be running down, give another MVP. I'm estimating I'm probably in my car within the next 3.5 minutes.
Well, let me tell you this, Tim. You're going to be here as long as I am tonight. Because we got lots of equipment to haul back to Sean O'Connor's his Honda. We got to get all this equipment back, and we got DVDs to produce. So.
I got 2 bad shoulders. I'm sorry. You know what? You can pull a couple guys off the field.
And the extra point is up and good by Kevin Kikola of Patapsco here with 38 seconds to go. 42-6, Baltimore County on top.
You know, and I live close to the North Pole. You know, I have a pretty long drive home, Chuck.
I know,
I'm not like you. I don't live 15 minutes from the stadium. It takes me 3 hours to get home.
But you know, Burke, I know you and Mrs. Tim love that scenic Elkton area up in lovely Cecil County, you know, across the bridge.
3.5 hours from here.
Yeah, but, you know, you're the one that chose to deal with that I-95 traffic going down.
I'll tell you what.
It's never a good day to travel I-95 up in that area.
Tonight, you know, the way the weather was earlier tonight, it was horrific. Or should I say hellacious? We're coming back again to another kickoff. Hey, you know, these kickoffs, Chuck, they've been pretty exciting all night long. What do you think? You think they do an onside kick here?
No, Tim. You know, if I'm telling Kikola just to kick that ball as far as I can, and he did, and he kicked it well that time, back to the 5-yard line. Number 10 for the city, Pickford Jr. takes the ball up close to the 30-yard line, out of bounds at, where are they going to spot the ball, Tim? I don't know, 31-yard line, 31-yard line.
And we're about winding down that. Well, Chuck, you know what?
32-yard line.
Again, you know, we've done this for several consecutive years. We've been covering high school football in the Mid-Atlantic region, and you know, as lopsided as the score is, both sides, I think, played well. And, you know, so many people don't understand what it takes to be part of an all-star game as a player. And it's, you know, it's learning different defenses, learning different offenses, being in positions maybe where you're not in.
That's going to do it for the game tonight. The final score, Baltimore County 42 and Baltimore City 6. We'd like to thank our cameraman tonight, Matt Ruggieri. A great job as usual working for Digital Cave Productions. We also like to thank our producer, Nate Lewis. Also a fine job, and we'd encourage you to check Nate out as much as you can on U.S. Sports. He does a great job with his company and doing play-by-play down in the D.C. area as well. And also we'd like to thank our executive producer, Sean O'Connor, for a great job with AITV. You can check him out at allinbroadcasting.com to find out what's going on, and you can check out this at a later date. And again, my sidekick, Timothy P. My name is Chuck Harmon saying, hey, thanks for joining us. We're glad we could bring you this production of the 2007 Baltimore County All-Star Game. Again, folks, the final score, Baltimore County 42, Baltimore County 6. Good night, everybody.